What it do? What it do, y'all? It's your boy Big J, host of the JJ Sports Talk Show. What's going on, y'all? Y'all know what that I'm rocking, man. That Lamar Jackson jersey, big trust. You already know. Your boy Big J is excited. We have a tough game, a tough hill to climb tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's tough. It's just Mahomes and Kelsey. Um, so the Ravens play the Chiefs 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then we got the Lions and the Niners doing it for the NFC. I'm stoked for this game. I have been waiting, you know, since the first round, since we had a bye to see who we were gonna play. I did go to the game against Miami Dolphins. Like it was like the second to last game of the season. We stomped Miami like 56-19. And then we lost to Steelers like with our backups. But we are back. We are back. We got my boy Kyle Edwards calling my co-host. How you doing, boss? Oh. I ain't gonna lie, man. That quality looks pretty crisp, man. What really? What? My co-host.
Yeah. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? What's going on, brother? Here,
Not much.
I was just telling the fans that I'm stoked for tomorrow's game. It's gonna be a good one. Ravens Chiefs at 3, and then Lions and Niners. I think the later game. I think, to be honest, I think the game should be. I think the Chiefs Ravens game should be like matinee box office. But actually, that Lions game is pretty good too. It's just, I don't know. I mean, either or could be the night game, but I feel like the Ravens Chiefs has more. It's two heavyweights going at it. I think so. That should be like the night game.
Yeah. The Lions
You
game is
don't
a
think
better
so?
storyline.
Isn't Ravens Chiefs Lamar's potentially first Super Bowl?
Okay, the Lions have never been there. That's the better storyline.
We've never been there either. Oh well, yeah. Well, I want to not in Lamar era though.
The Lions are a better story.
I think people have been waiting to see Lamar Jackson, and
Yeah, you have. Ravens fans have. But think of all the years in Detroit with all the losing seasons and them actually being good enough. That's the storyline. That's what the NFL is capitalizing on.
1 second. Hold on. I sent him the email. He didn't get it. Aaron Riley, right? He's from he was part of the Sports Empire Network at some
Yeah,
point. Yeah, he wants to jump on.
he's still there. I've done shows with him on there.
Oh, he's still there? Okay. I thought he went solo.
No, he had his own thing before, and he still does.
Gosh, I gotta send it to him again. The link, hold up. But yeah, I was just but like, what's your overall thoughts of the season so far, man? Just while I send him this invite.
I mean, it's like it is what it is. We've seen, I guess, a surprise team or two, and I feel like some of the young quarterbacks have done really well for themselves. Jordan Love proved a lot of people wrong. C.J. Stroud showed he's that guy. Buffalo, a lot of questions in Buffalo. I thought because of how weird this season had been, maybe Buffalo could have done something, but clearly they have a mental block when it comes to Kansas City. They just don't know how to beat them. I feel like they try to do too much when they play against Kansas City. I've seen that. Teams used to do that with New England. When they played them, they felt like they had to do a little bit more to try to beat them instead of trying to beat themselves. But it's going to be interesting because Kansas City, a lot of people doubted them. Mahomes' weapons weren't good enough, but he's still made it to the championship game. Does he have another performance in him to get him back to a Super Bowl? We'll have to see. Can Baltimore? You know, I said before the playoffs started, actually, I said it's like well into the season. The way this season broke, this is the opportunity that Lamar and Baltimore need to take advantage of. And they have an opportunity to. So
Yeah, I mean, like tomorrow, I'm not really nervous about this game because, like, I mean, obviously it's Mahomes. I mean, no one wants to bet against Mahomes, but like, I don't know if you saw, like, each team have like the media day, and like teams have been asking about,
yeah.
I mean, media has been asking, about their thoughts, and like Roquan Smith, said it beautifully. Like Chiefs have an elite quarterback in Mahomes, but we have an elite defense. So it's like it's gonna go. It really is like Mahomes. Like you see him there all off. You
He
say
said what I've been
and
saying.
huh?
He said what I've been saying. It's been the defense.
No, but it's the offense too, man. And plus we're getting Mark Andrews back, so that's gonna be another weapon.
The defense has been elite.
Like I said, the Ravens are the most complete team, bro.
But they're not though. They're not.
How they're not wearing the best team in the
So
league?
where was the offense the first half against Houston?
You talking about like in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Like the playoff game? I mean, yeah, but what happened in the second half?
Okay. If they were so complete, they would have put together a great first half, a great second half.
Here we go.
They put together a good second half after the defense turned it up again on CJ Stroud and gave the offense short field to play with. I've said all year, it's been the Ravens defense that's gotten them to this point. You and all your Lamar friends want to make it seem like it's Lamar.
First
Lamar's
of all,
been
Aaron,
good.
why do you have this smile on your face, man? Like, what's so funny,
Hey,
man?
Look, that's my guy, Aaron. Aaron already knows what's about to happen.
So y'all tag teaming me, man? That's not fair, man.
Hey,
I'm around Ravens fans nonstop, so it's like I'm just kind of overwhelmed by the amount of Lamar. Not that he's not playing at an elite level, I'll give you that. But I only caught the tail end of what Kyle was saying, but I do think their defense.
What he was saying was like what he was saying was nonsense. You didn't miss anything.
Out of the two of us, I'm the one speaking facts. Okay.
Okay. All right. Man, just because you have a shaved face and a gold chain, man. Now you think you're all tough, man? No,
hey, so look,
that fake chain, man.
It ain't fake.
Oh man. No, go ahead, Aaron. I mean to cut you off, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I just talk about. I'll pitch in on the next thing. What you're talking about.
No, I was just saying how I think that this not just the playoffs. I think that the Ravens are the most like complete team, like on offense, defense, and special teams.
I gotta stop saying that.
I mean,
it's the defense, man.
Kyle, do you think the Niners are more the complete team? I can't say the Chiefs are only because like the receiving core for Baltimore, I think is far better than what Kansas City has. And like we saw Kansas City's defense get kind of waxed a little bit against the Bills. Mm-hmm. Not that the Bills aren't great, but it's like I don't know. I'm a little bit worried how the Chiefs defense is going to look against the Ravens offense.
Yeah, and plus a lot of I think I was talking my boys at work, like I think they're all pro linemen is out. That's pretty big for them. I think Willie Snead's or Willie Gay or he's injured or he's like hobbled. Pacheco, I think it's a game time decision. I think, but he should play.
Convince yourself the Ravens gonna blow him out or something.
No, I'm just saying,
just like the whole team on the injured list, man. It's the AFC title game.
Hey, I mean, I'm just looking at. I'm looking at what Adam Schefter said, and no, he said the dudes he's ruled out, like Tooney or whatever, the lineman, the All Pro, but yeah, I mean,
offensive linemen, I never doubt offensive linemen. They are wired differently. They will play through everything. So I'm not going to sit here and be shocked if you see Tooney line up
No, Adam Schefter reported he's out. He's out. Don't teams have to report their injury active list like before the game, like a day before?
I was just saying because I hadn't paid attention to Adam Schefter today.
No,
if he's out,
yesterday.
If a lineman's gonna miss a AFC title game, it's got to be something real serious.
Yeah, I think I can double check. I'm pretty sure he was on the he was
I mean, he might be. It's all good.
And that's big for them. That's really big for them. Because
I mean, Mahomes adapted to no wide receivers and got them here. A left guard, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I trust Andy Reid to scheme something up to compensate for that.
Yeah, Chiefs ruled out Joe Thuney, Derek Nottie, Sky Moore, IR, Prince Tega, Wanako for Sunday's game.
Trust me, Chiefs fans aren't losing sleep that Sky Moore is out.
I'm just saying the injury list, man. But I mean, we're coming into the game healthy. So that's good. Lamar's healthy. I think that I'm not scared of the Chiefs, man. I mean, Baltimore's gonna be rocking.
We know you're not.
I mean, I'm really not. I mean, I'm, and that's tough for me to say.
They could be playing the 85 Bears. You'd be like, I'm not scared. That's the way you're supposed to feel. I get it.
I mean, at least I guess we'll get into that. But like the whole coaching changes. Like we saw Michigan coach take the job for the launching of the Chargers. Your coach, your former coach is. I thought he was going to get the Atlanta job, but they picked
the Atlanta job's beneath him. To be honest with you, if I'm Bill Belichick, I just coached 20-something years with Tom Brady. I'm gonna go take Atlanta. That's never won anything. The city is as a sports city, and my quarterback is Desmond Ridder, and I have to go and find a quarterback now to try to fix everything.
I don't know where
I think Bill. Look, there's a chance because there's rumors out there that Andy Reid might retire after the year, and supposedly Belichick could get Kansas City. I doubt that. That's kind of.
Hey, we'll see.
I don't see that as a fit either. But
if we knock him out, he might retire.
It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Andy Reid's been around forever. So if I said Travis Kelce might retire, then you'd be like, yeah, because Roquan Smith's going to hit him. Like, no. These are decisions that were made weeks ago. So it is what it is. I mean, it'd be kind of weird to see Andy Reid walk away, but he's kind of accomplished everything a coach can. He's won a few Super Bowls, and he's gone down as probably one of the greatest. I mean, a lot of people regard him as like one of the greatest coaches of his time. So, if he wants to step away, can't really say anything about that.
Wait, so like Aaron, so do you agree or do you disagree that Ravens are the most complete team, or do you side with Kyle? But like what do you think?
Well, let me ask Kyle this, and then I'll answer what your question is. Like because I go back and forth. Like if the Ravens aren't, do you think the 49ers are the last remaining complete team? Because I just can't go there with the Chiefs because I don't trust the Chiefs defense. I just don't. The way they looked against the Bills, against the run especially, I was like, man, this is like they were just gashing them down the field.
The Bills missed they were 3 points away from tying the game, and you know what I'm saying. So like it's like.
But the Ravens did play the Texans, and the Texans are like they're wet behind the ears, like both with their coach and their quarterbacks. And and coming into Baltimore, like after a bye week, like it's a tough matchup for them. So as much as I'll just hand it to you though. Like who do you think is the most complete team if it isn't the Ravens? Like that's a fair.
I would probably still stick with the Niners as the most complete. I mean, look, both teams have flaws. I mean, that's been kind of the crazy thing about the playoffs is every team you look at have a glaring flaw. So Before the playoffs started, I said the Niners were 1. I said Ravens were 2. I think I kind of stick with that.
What's the Ravens' glaring flaw? Like, I just gotta.
I don't see it. I don't see their like. What are their flaws?
Of course, you don't see it,
No,
Jordan.
but I'm
We're
saying
not
like I'm
asking you.
asking every
I still look.
every current NFL fan I can talk. If I go to a bar that's who they're completely in, they be the Ravens. They're clicking all cylinders, not just me.
Yeah, because you probably
I mean,
avoid the one who probably wouldn't say it.
we destroyed the Niners and then the most complete team. We
Okay,
manhandled
regular
them.
season, playoffs, 2 very different.
I mean,
I agree with that.
what has Purdy done to make you think he's done a complete team? Other than I know he was hurt last year in the playoffs. He got hurt, and then they got to use since he has a quarterback. But I mean,
Purdy doesn't try to do more than he can. Purdy locks himself into Shanahan's rules of quarterback play, and he does that. And I feel like out of the quarterbacks who have gone through that system, he's been kind of the best at it. There's a reason why Trey Lance isn't still there. He couldn't do it. There's a reason why Jimmy Garoppolo's not still there. Couldn't do it. But somehow, Purdy has done it, led the team back to the same spot they were in last year when everybody doubted Purdy doing it last year. And he came into the season with a lot of doubters, got them back there. The whole point of it is, look, if you look at them offensively, it's not even necessarily about Purdy. It's you have Kittle, Samuel, Ayuk, you have CMC. So Purdy isn't asked to do nothing too spectacular.
Say the same for Lamar. I mean, they're like Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, likely stepped up.
Those guys are going by with like 1 and 2 catches.
I know, but it's like Lamar doesn't like you've seen him. I've seen him live. Like you don't really have to do much now. Like he has more time in the pocket.
Okay, against Houston, he threw for 150 yards and ran for 100. That's asking him to do a lot.
I mean, it's a playoff game. He has to. It's like winner you go home.
Because that's his nature. His nature is to run. 150 yards. If Jared Goff threw for 150 yards, what would you say about him? Probably didn't do much.
He's not really a mobile quarterback. I mean, he is, but he's not really, known to like. He's not running first,
This goes back to our conversation when Baltimore threw Greg Roman away because he was holding back the offense.
Look what Tom Monken has done with the Ravens offense.
150 passing yards, 100 rushing yards is Greg Roman all over again. That's what Lamar was doing with
You're
Greg
saying
Roman.
one playoff game though. Like I'm talking about the whole season to get us to this point. Like look at the
healthy finally.
I mean, Lamar has more time in the pocket. His weapons are catching the ball. There's more plays. I mean, that's
yards.
I mean,
he's not killing it throwing the ball.
Todd Monken has made Lamar more vocal in the he can change the play at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? Like I think if Greg Roman was still our coordinator, we wouldn't be where we are right now. Like I don't think
why.
I think I'm between you guys. Like I'm right in the middle because like I see what some of the things Jordan's saying.
I mean, I see what Kyle's saying, but like I think we're the most complete team. Like I think the complete means offense, defense. I mean, the defense got the Triple Crown, first in tackles, first in sacks,
Yeah, a lot of accolades for the defense, which is what I started this with. The defense has been
there's offensive stats
much better than the offense has.
We blow out teams with defense and offense, Brent. I mean, I've seen it against the Miami, bro. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes.
I feel like the offense is like it's prettier to watch. Like maybe the stats look similar, but it's like more appealing to the eye this year. Like I'll go with Jordan on that because like my roommate watches all the Ravens games. And I'm like, no offense, Jordan. I'm just like I'm so tired of the Ravens, man. Like as America is tired of the Chiefs, like that's how I feel about the Ravens anymore. I'm just constantly surrounded by it. Like no hate. Like I have no problem with their team, franchise, whatever. I respect it. Like they're good.
No, it's like, and I get it. It's like if I'm a big fan of the Weekend, right? And you're not a big, and you're a fan of the Weekend, right? and like I'm playing over and over and over and over and over again. You're gonna get tired of.
Like if it was like every time I got in your car, that's all you play the same album too.
That's me, bro. That's me all the time, bro. Like, nah. Like I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
But like I gotta say, they look better on because I feel like they do have better weapons this year, and like Likely is playing like way above his pay grade. I think like no one really expected that.
And when he got hurt, Likely stepped up real big time.
Right, and like Andrew's coming back. They say he's gonna play. Like it is a lot to account for in addition to Lamar's legs, because then it's like I think you could still, as a passer, I still think you can shut down Lamar with the right scheme, with the right personnel. But if you allow him to just gash you in the running game, then yeah, obviously he's going to open up things in the passing game. So can the Chiefs defense do it? That's where I'm a little bit like, I can't say the Chiefs are more complete than the Ravens. No offense, I'm just calling it how it is. I take Mahomes 8 days out of a week over Lamar. I always will. But at the end of the day, his skill set with all the weapons, the pass protection, like it is a lot to account for. So like I've called this game like a lot of times this week. Like I feel like it's a 42-38 game. Like there's no way I feel like this game is low score. I could be dead wrong.
42-38 going where? Chiefs or Ravens?
Man, I keep going back.
You can't just say 42-38 and not say who the 42.
I'm just saying, I would absolutely hammer the over on this game because like I don't. I know the Ravens have a stout defense, but I still think Mahomes finds a way at times.
And I think in order for Mahomes to, obviously, like before, like Lamar was, was just learning how to. Because I knew we were going to start off slow this year, and I even said it before the season, like it's going to take some chemistry for Odell to get his running back. He got hurt, we're coming from the ACL. Zay Flowers, rookie, never played a single down before the season started. Bateman, always hurt. Now he's a dark horse, like, on offense, like brings that speed and right after catch radius. He's fast. And like I feel like that. I feel like with and Mike, there's a reason. Maybe Kyle's gonna have a counter argument to this, but there's a reason why Todd Monken and Mike McDaniel are. Obviously, there's teams that are desperate for coaches right now, but Mike McDaniel is a really hot coach right now that teams would vie for right now because like he's putting our defense in positions to be the best. Like Kyle Hamilton has stepped up, has really matured. Right? No, but I'm saying that's just Mike McDaniel.
Nobody trying to talk to Todd Monken. They want to talk to McDonald.
No, believe me, Todd Monken he's been in some coaching. Like I think the time it was the Chargers. I think Titans were in the running. I think. You look at some.
He was never going to get the Chargers job. Let's be real.
I'm just listening to teams that he was, like interviewing for.
And the Tennessee job,
there's probably more.
They went and took the dude from Cincinnati. If they really wanted Todd Monken, they could have waited for him. McDonald's the one. If I'm taking a coach, I would take McDonald easily as my head coach. Monken,
but I think they're like not to say he's not a good coach, but they're kind of stacked too. Like they have people I'll say this about the Ravens: like they can pick a guy off the scrap heap and he'll play like 1,000 times better than they would for the Eagles. I don't know if it's scheme, personnel, like how the coaches utilize. Like you guys go get Jadeveon Clowney. If we would have got him, he would probably gotten like 2 sacks all year. It feels like he's getting a sack every game. Like I don't know how you guys.
Everyone thought he fell off the cliff, and he's just freaking just going at it, man. Like he's another dark horse for our defense, man. Like offense, these young players. These young players
have been the most consistent in his career.
But look to Aaron's point. Like he's on the Baltimore Ravens, and he's playing better than he's ever had since. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's tips to Mike McDaniel. Ever since that blowout, that lead we had against Miami last year, and then they blew us out to now. Like Mike McDaniel has really improved himself as he could be a head coach, and I get it. I wouldn't be. For people who are OCs, offensive coordinators, DCs, defensive coordinators, assistant coaches, I take my hat off for people who want to find a coaching job because you get more money. But I would be kind of sad that he's gonna leave because I don't know who's gonna step up in that role. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find somebody like in house, but I respect it. If you have an opportunity, there's an open job, take it. But I mean, I don't. Maybe Mike McDaniel and Tom Wilkins stay for another year until more coaching opportunities pop up next year. Because believe me, I think Dabo might be gone if the Giants, Saquon Barkley if they let him go, we'll see what that. I mean, look, I mean, what then the Giants pick up our the coordinator Wayne Martindale. So we'll see, what opportunities open up. I'm not sure how many open coaching spots are available. I know
There's only one.
Atlanta's, there's only one.
Well, there's two, but one seems like it's going to go
Buccaneers,
to
right? Or no, Bucks.
No, it's just Washington and Seattle, and most people think
Seattle.
Ben Johnson's getting Washington. So
I thought it was going to be Airbnb going to be moving up.
What's up with that? Is he ever going to get ahead? Like, I don't know if he doesn't want it. I don't know if they're not giving it to him. Like, I thought when they hired him, I was like, this is the long-term plan. Like, Riverboat Ron's going to be out before you know it. One of these years, they'll can him, and boom, the enemy is why not give? I don't get why. Like, Washington.
I know he's interviewed for it, so I guess they could ultimately go with him. But also, you got to remember, it's a new ownership group.
That's
a
true.
lot of times, the new ownership group will want to make the splash higher, and Ben Johnson is like the hottest offensive coordinator right now. So if they bring him in, they know they'll energize the fan base. I think some Washington fans may not have been impressed with the offense this season. So if you told them, hey, we're hiring Eric Bieniemy, they'll be like, okay. Bieniemy, look, it's tough because this coaching carousel for this season, it was like muddied once we learned Belichick, Vrabel, Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh were all out there. And as crazy it is, it seems like only one of those guys is actually going to get a job.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. Like, if I'm Bieniemy, do I hold out? And let's say Andy Reid did retire, could he not go back there and maybe get that head coaching job?
Good point.
I thought
everybody in the building.
I thought it was gonna be Bill Belichick, man. What happened to that?
That's just the rumor because they're throwing Bill Belichick like
I'm just playing, bro.
Well, because they're saying, "Oh, Philly could fire Nick Sirianni. Hey, Bill Belichick will go there." Because Bill's only going to coach for like 2 or 3 years. It wouldn't make sense for him to go to a place like Atlanta where you have a lot of young players and they're.
I mean, that is a good
5-year plan.
That is a good question. Like, one of the greatest coaches of all time in the NFL. Now he's out of a coaching job because I mean, obviously he left. And obviously Gerard Mayo's there, but he took over. But that's a good question. Like, the greatest coach of all time in the NFL, like, where would he go? Like, where would he best fit? Like, I don't.
He'd have to take a job of like Buffalo. Like, if they move on from McDermott, he could fit there. If you move Sirianni,
what about
fit there?
I don't think John Harbaugh is going to get there. I don't get it because he's been like a longer coach.
Yeah, Kyle, he'll never get like Philly wants a yes man. Like, that's why even Andy Reid wasn't even a head coach before we hired. Like, they want a guy that they can literally shove all their information down his throat, and like he'll be the messenger basically. Like, the fact that they came out and said like he fired Sean Desai, I don't even think he. Like, maybe they told him, "Hey, you're going to fire Sean Desai in 20 minutes." Like, that's or Eagles organization is a hot mess, man. Like, it is a joke from the top down. So, like, as much as like, honestly, I can't stand Belichick. It's probably because he's won so much, and he's like, it's the hoodies. It's like
you just can't stand nobody that has repeated success, man. Like,
I mean, I love Michael Jordan. So,
he wasn't the only one. ESPN couldn't stand Bill Belichick.
I can't do Boston. Like, I
can't stand Ravens anymore because you hear about Ravens every 24/7. You try to build Belichick because they keep on winning.
I mean, hey, like Philadelphia fans, we love our team and pretty much hate everybody else. But Boston, man, like Kyle's probably the most humble Boston fan I've at least ever come across because they're always like, "We got this many championships and this and that," and I'm like, "Sure, you do. Like, you can say that." I probably would be obnoxious if I had 1 million championships too, but I don't know. Like, if Belichick, I don't know. Like, I still think Belichick's defense, like, no matter where he goes, I would trust his defense to follow that. But like, would I let him be GM of my team? No, I probably wouldn't.
Probably not, no.
Would I want to hire like a really great offensive mind to come along with him? absolutely, because I don't have confidence in him fixing an offense either. That's just how I look at that situation.
I mean, I can see him going to a team where it's not like they're not like below average, but I can see him like maybe next year when more positions open up. Maybe like we got Taylor Williams in the draft. Maybe like I can see him working with a rookie QB. I mean, we see how D'Amico Ryans, he was a defensive minded coach for the San Francisco 49ers. See what he's doing with CJ Stroud. Like CJ Stroud kind of had like a bad part of the year, like a couple games, and then he picked it up, got injured, then he picked it up. Look, so I mean, I can see him doing what he did with Tom Brady, like maybe going to a team that is young and maybe he can like help that QB. But a lot of people are saying like kind of like following what Aaron just said, like are not trusting him as a GM because like the question that somebody asked me at work was like he's very like football minded, NFL minded, and he was like, Jordan, like, do you think that Bill Belichick was a good coach, or do you think Tom Brady helped him be a good coach? Because we see now Tom Brady left the Patriots.
That dude's lucky I wasn't there. I cannot stand that question.
No, but like the way he asked it, because why he asked it, because like we've seen all the success that Tom Brady and Belichick, the brotherhood of like them together, and they couldn't it was a bond that couldn't be broken. Now the bond is broken. Tom Brady left. And then the Patriots team, the current ones, haven't really been good. Mac Jones has kind of been subpar. They really, I mean, I guess the best, not the best move, but they did make a good move a couple years ago by getting Judon, the defense, put some pep in the step with the defense. But I mean, it's just they've kind of been average now. So was it Tom Brady's success as a quarterback there? I mean, obviously, I'm not knocking anything off of Belichick, but like he hasn't really. Now it's different. Now, like he, they had Zappy, and then that didn't work. Mac Jones. I mean, and I'm not hating on Mac because he's an Alabama quarterback, and I had all respect for Alabama quarterback Hurts. Tua, all the Alabama quarterbacks, but I mean that is a good. I mean, maybe for you that's not a good question, but that's a good question to ask just a typical NFL fan. Like, was it really, because it's proven that
But there's a good counter to that question.
Okay.
Tom Brady did go to Tampa Bay, where you had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Not a bad landing spot to go as a quarterback.
But I guess to counteract that point, I mean the Pacers. I mean, other than maybe getting TikTok sensation Juju Smith-Schuster, what have they done to get a good receiver? I mean, they had Jacoby Myers. I mean, then he went to the Raiders, right? Or, what receivers have they had like that to help them or what have they done to help Mac Jones out? Nothing.
What has Mac Jones done to help himself out? Do you not remember that game in Germany?
He needs weapons, man, around him.
Okay, so
I'm not trying. I'm just playing devil's advocate, man.
Okay, so you said you like Alabama quarterbacks.
Don't get hot, man.
Look at these Alabama quarterbacks, right? How many of them have really had great NFL careers?
Like current ones? I mean, Jalen Hurts. I mean,
I don't care how far back you go.
I mean, I still like. I'm like Jalen Hurts is good, but still, we don't like. He hasn't been good enough long enough for me to be like, wow.
I think he's one of the best out of the recent ones.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But like Tua has
he has his issues too.
Tua, I mean, he had a good season this year. Like what? He was going off this year, man. Like
and they had one cold weather game, and they act like they didn't even know what football was.
Yeah,
plus, I mean, they did have a lot of injuries coming into the game, but their top D line, Phillips without.
But like before Mac, Tua and
Jalen,
think about like AJ McCarron was like nobody even remembers AJ McCarron. Like who else? There was a bunch of people in that.
Greg McElroy.
Right?
Greg McElroy. Yeah, him and McCarron are like the same person to me because they both are irrelevant. Like who else? I mean, I don't know. That kid they have now is not going to be. I don't think he's going to be much. If he,
I like Jalen. I mean, with Jalen Miro.
I mean, he's young, but I don't know.
Man.
But I don't know. I
He
like
reminds me
Kyle.
of like a.
I'm on
He
board with Kyle.
reminds me of like a. He reminds me of like a Jalen Hurts, Lamar with the speed.
No.
And like the Hurts with the. He reminds me of like a Hurts, Lamar with the speed, and like Hurts with the arm. No, I'm being serious. Like I've watched him. He can run it. He can throw
I
it.
watched them too.
Did y'all
He's
see
like
that catch he made
the overall.
against Auburn?
Oh, when the defense was completely screwed up,
Oh my god!
he threw a Hail Mary into the back of the end zone that the corner lost sight of.
Okay,
That's some great throw.
Is that Milroe's fault or the defense fault?
How do you do against Michigan?
I mean, he was one touchdown away from. I don't know why he ran. I don't know why he. I mean, that's a statement.
Step up the competition, and what did he do?
That's a statement. I don't know what kind of play that was.
I think he fumbled the snap, and he's like, "I'm just gonna go." Yeah, that's what I mean. I was rooting for Alabama, although I can't stand Michigan, so I was rooting for him too. And I was like, "What?" Like,
I don't know what kind of play that was. I don't know what that play was.
I think Milroe could be a good quarterback. He's gonna have to do a little bit more. Like if you went to the NFL draft right now,
I forgot about Bryce.
You're not going to use a first round pick on him. I know, but I'm just saying the book is still out on Milroe. I wouldn't say he's great yet. Let me see what he does next week.
I'm just saying what, like, how, like,
he is a beast.
He is a beast.
I'm going to give him the beast label until I see some more out of him.
Wait, is he eligible to go to the draft or next year? After next year?
He's young, right? He's only a sophomore.
I think next year he can go.
Yeah.
No, but what, Kyle? What were you gonna say about like Mac? What has Mac Jones done to help himself? Like that's a very good point. Like,
yeah, what has he
look? I get that there were some issues that he couldn't help. Like he couldn't help the Matt Patricia offensive coordinator year. I get that. They brought in Bill O'Brien, who is a guy he's had a passing acquaintance with. It was a more functional offense, and what do we see? Mac is a guy who's not confident. When he drops back, he's expecting to get hit, so he flinches a lot and then he misses throws. I can't necessarily put that on weapons when it's kind of between the ears with Mac Jones right now. I still think you can salvage him. I just don't think it can happen necessarily in New England. Now, with Belichick not being there, maybe he gets one more shot next year because Mayo's going to bring in somebody different offensively. Because just looking at the interview process, he's interviewing basically anybody who's had ties to Sean McVay. And part of the reason why, the New England offense was so tough was a lot of people say it's complicated, like a lot of verbiage and stuff. Whereas McVay's offense is pretty simple. So maybe that's something Mac Jones can do well in. I also think the problem is the Patriots have such a high draft pick, they're probably going to be obligated to take a quarterback, which I'm not mad at. So Mac's probably going to have to fight for his job next year. And it's going to be whether or not he wants
to. Fight against who? Bailey Zappi? Like, no, I'm being
if they draft Jaden Daniels, a lot of people are going to expect Jaden Daniels to start from week 1. Or Jaden Daniels seems like he might get taken second.
I can't look at Aaron States, man. He's trying to hold.
I'm just saying because Jaden Daniels is seen as like
he's nice. He's nice, yeah.
But if Jaden Daniels has like a crazy combine and he goes second, and you have Drake May, I think a lot of people will expect Drake May to probably start.
Is that quarterback from Washington? Is he eligible for the draft?
Yeah, I think he's going in the draft.
I forget his name, like Pixon or something like that, or something like that. Penix.
I think Penix might be teens area, maybe.
I think he's gonna be a bust. I'll be honest.
So, what are the Patriots? What are their what's their draft number? What's their? Or do you know yet?
Third. They're number 3.
Damn. When's the last time?
I mean, they can get Well, they could get a quarterback, or they could get if he falls to 3, maybe Marvin Harrison.
When did they win that first Super Bowl with Brady? Was that like 03, right? Something like that.
Brady, that was 01.
I can't remember the last time, like in the 2000s, they've drafted this low. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
wouldn't that be? Wouldn't it be high? If they're drafting in the
No,
3.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they haven't drafted in the top 5 in my lifetime. I feel like. Well,
Well,
since
didn't
I
they
started,
draft? Didn't they draft like low last year or high like last year?
they were like middle
Cause
of the pack, right? They were
Mac
like
y'all
Jones
got
is cool.
like who y'all
Last year
get?
they
Y'all got
drafted.
he got
They got
hurt.
Christian
And,
Gonzalez. Christian
yeah,
Gonzalez was
Gonzalez.
number. That was in like the 13 area.
yeah. They weren't in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah,
And the year
like Mac
before they
Jones
made
was
the playoffs.
15.
Yeah, 2 years ago they were in the
That's
playoffs
actually a good
against the
question. The
Bills.
last time they drafted high, like
That's
Richard
crazy.
Seymour was like number 3, but that was like several years ago. Yeah, this is uncharted territory for the Patriots.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining, but hey, I mean, I know I can understand why. I mean, like, if you don't draft a quarterback, will you be upset, or are you like? Because I think like Mac Jones
it'll
is kind
depend
of,
what they draft.
yeah. What do you want them to
Yeah,
draft? It's got to be offensively, right?
yeah. Cause I know like this draft has like
Any
good tackles
receiver.
high in the draft. If they took
Yeah.
a tackle, I wouldn't mind it because their tackle play has been kind of trash. If they took Marvin Harrison, I would completely understand that.
Yeah.
Then the question might be like, so if they could take a quarterback in the second round, who's going to be there? Like, are we talking about like Bo Nixon, JJ McCarthy?
That's Mac Jones all over again.
JJ McCarthy taking a kid from Michigan and then like a Brady 2.0. I mean, I don't even think.
I mean, McCarthy could be a fit, man. That's like Aaron just said, like a Michigan, like
Yeah, I
I've
don't
heard
think
from
he's.
college people like
a
who really
Michigan
watch Michigan, they don't think
nostalgia.
McCarthy's going to be that good.
No, I don't think he is either. I really like he can make throws in college, but like outside of that, I just don't. But I don't think Penix is going to be that great either. To be honest, like just me. He reminds me of Tua, to be honest with you. Like he just not to just he's a lefty. Like I feel like he can be wildly inaccurate at times. Like I don't know. I don't really see it with Jaden Daniels. I do think he has upside, but I don't know.
Right. And Jaden Daniels might be a guy, if you drafted him, he may not start right away. He might be one of those where you sit him a year. And if that happens, then yeah, Mac gets his 4th year to hopefully one last chance to show he can do it. Because obviously, if he doesn't, they're not going to pick up his 5th year option. They're probably not going to pick it up anyway. And then the following year, maybe Daniels is ready to go. And then you kind of just go the next era with Jaden Daniels after that. Because look, Gerard Mayo's press conference, Mac Jones was right there. So I guess Mac Jones kind of feels like I might have a shot once again.
But how do you?
Patriots fans may hate that, but
I mean, I go to my question because Aaron be ducking my question. I say who's the most complete? Well, like you said, you're 50-50, right?
yeah, he's gonna keep asking that till you say the Ravens.
No, but I was gonna say if it's wrong, the Patriots. Like, how do you feel about speaking of the press conference? How do you feel about him saying like he doesn't see color or something like that? Like, what do you?
No, he said if you don't see color, then you can't see race. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was like
it was a good answer to the question.
He's the first like black coach for the Patriots, right? First.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's pretty.
And he said that means a lot to him. Yeah, when I first heard the quote, I was like, But I was like, okay, I get it, because a lot of people will try to say, like, if you think somebody might be racially inclined, they'll be like, oh, I don't see color. He's just like, you can't not see it. It's in your face. So you have to be able to like acknowledge it and then move on. So it was an interesting answer. I thought it was a really good one. He's a guy that the players like. There's reports that there were some guys who were free agents who wouldn't have thought about re-signing if Belichick was still the coach, that will now consider re-signing because Gerard Mayo's there.
I mean, anybody's got to be more of a player's coach than Belichick. Like, all respect to Belichick, he's obviously probably GOAT status, but like to say he's a player's coach is like, I don't know. He's more of a dictator than he is a player's coach, from everything I understand.
It kind of depends on the player, because some players loved him and some didn't. Like,
hated him probably.
Like Cassius Marsh hated him, which I read that, I was like, you were there for 1 year and nobody cared, but
Yeah,
have your opinion. So it's like Randy Moss loved him. I mean, it's kind of depends on like who you are as a player, but yeah, Belichick wasn't everybody's cup of tea up. Clearly,
he's not going to be anybody's
or any
friend.
coaches like that.
Yeah, I don't. But I think Belichick more than even like Harbaugh probably doesn't, like, for lack of a better word, like crap on people as much in your, like, Belichick's very like, I don't like, I am who I am. Like, I don't,
Mhm.
if you don't like it, there's the door. Like,
Belichick's like the old school version of Greg Pop, like a very like one word answer ish, like very quiet, like like if you watch their press conferences back in the day, like obviously Pop was more vocal because like what's going on in the world with the whole like racial injustice and like he's kind of been kind of like, I mean nothing's been going on that's really bad right now with the racial injustice, but he's kind of been vocal about that. But other than that, like he's been kind of secluded in the press conferences, just like Bill. Like, but now he's kind of more open. He kind of talks a little bit more, but like, I mean, obviously you don't want to like, and that's more. You don't want to give out too much information to everybody, but like, cause like you don't want to know, like you don't want your opponent to know your next move. But I mean, obviously, I mean, I would have to have a job in the New England sports media because they get an answer out of him because it's like hey, how did Mac Jones throw the ball?
His job is not to
I don't know.
write the articles for the media
No,
people.
I'm just saying, but like like the
No, I
job.
know what you're saying. Okay, look at the opposite of it. The media loved Rex Ryan. Where's Rex Ryan been the last few years?
I'll take Rex Ryan as my DC any day.
He's on TV, right? Does the NFL Live or whatever?
Yeah, but when Rex Ryan was the coach, he gave you line after line. He was entertaining as ever, and then at a certain point, the wins aren't there, and you gotta fire him.
Yeah.
I'm sure if Belichick wasn't winning, the act would have gotten old years ago.
Oh no,
But
I'm
after a
saying
while, you're
like,
just like, hey, he kind of can act like that because at the end of the season, he's holding the Lombardi. What are we gonna tell him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess we can, since we got two games, Chiefs and Ravens, and Niners and Lions. We'll start with the AFC game. This we'll go on the horn or go on the screen of like we'll pick each team and then what their keys of victory are, and then like they'll go with the Ravens or Chiefs first, and we'll see like what the Chiefs need to do to win, and then we'll go to the Ravens side, see what they need to do to win, and then we'll go to the NFC side. So first I'm gonna go Uno style. I'm gonna go reverse card to Aaron.
All right, so keys of victory for the Ravens. You want to start there? That's what you're saying?
Actually, we can do Chiefs first.
Oh,
since they're the away team.
Okay, all right. Deferring to the Chiefs, man, surprising, but no, I think the Chiefs ultimately they got to have somebody, like they can't have Lamar run over, like, I'm gonna say over 85 to 90. Like if they can keep him under 85 yards, that's a key for me because I think like them if they can play good pass defense, relatively control the run, keep Baltimore's defense on the field for a while. Like if they can milk, a 7-8 minute drive of at least one or two of those throughout the game, you'll start seeing the Ravens defense wear down. That's any team. Like I don't care. I mean, outside of probably the '85 Bears and in the early 2000s Ravens defenses and some of the Patriots defenses and in the Super Bowl, in the Super Bowls they were winning. But outside of that, like, and I'm not saying this defense isn't special, but like I think if the Chiefs can run with Pachenko successfully, that's going to be a major bonus for them because I do think Kelsey's going to have a good day. I don't know who's going to, if they put Roquan or Patrick Queen on him, I'm not sure, or how they're going to scheme up for that. But yeah, I think for the Chiefs, you got to get Pachenko going, and you got to at least limit the Ravens on the running, or limit Lamar from just running all over you. Is more so what I'm getting at.
All right, Kyle. And then after this, we'll do score predictions and then And then we'll after we do the NFC, we'll pick the NFC winner, and then we'll go over Super Bowl picks, and then we'll maybe dice up the Super Bowl winner. Like so, yeah. So Kyle, you're next. What the Chiefs got to do to win?
Force Lamar to throw. He's not going to hit anybody anyway. I had to say that. Okay, so I feel like the key is they can't let the game get away from them because it's in Baltimore. We know what the defense can do. Somebody on Kansas City probably 2-3 times a game is going to have to make a play. And whether that's kind of like in Buffalo when Mahomes threw that pass down the right sideline to Scantling, and he was heavily covered and still made the catch, somebody's going to have to do something like that 2 or 3 times against Baltimore to make it happen.
Probably Rasheed Rice. I mean, that's the only receiver I see that.
Oh, I mean, he's come on for sure, but like I said, that catch from Scantling, I was surprised he made it, but he made the catch.
Is he still on the team, Marcus Valdez-Scantling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still there. Because the key's been Mahomes has to find somebody he can trust outside of Kelsey. Because if Kelsey has one of his games where he drops a couple of passes, then that really hurts the offense because they're gonna have to stay on schedule. They're gonna have to put together 8-9 play drives against Baltimore's defense to kind of take some of the air out of the stadium, kill some clock. They got to do that. If they find themselves getting 3 and outs consecutively, I think this game gets away from them. So they gotta make a play. That's the key. And then defensively, Aaron said, Spagnuolo is a really good defensive mind, and you have to have gap control and discipline when you try to rush Lamar Jackson. If you get too far up the field, he'll just run through the vacated area, and then now you're asking your linebackers and secondary to come up and hit him. So if they can, rush him from the outside in, close the pocket in on him, they'll have a lot of success. I think it's that simple. And I think Spagnuolo's the guy who's going to come with a good system to try to stop him, is whether or not Lamar can counter that.
Yeah, I'll start with the defense for the Chiefs. I think that now since Andrews is going to be back, and we talked about how likely he's stepping up, and like when Andrews got hurt, and even Kolar, the other rookie or second year tight end, he stepped up too. But with likely making spectacular wide receiver catches like he did against the Jags. Technically, if he wanted to, he can really switch to receiver because he's that good. He can really play if he wanted to a receiver. And then with Andrews coming back, like they really have to find an answer for Mark Andrews, and likely they had that 2 tight end wide receiver set. So Chiefs really, and even when they had Tyreek Hill back in the day and like that era of Chiefs, their defense, their rushing defense has really been kind of like subpar. So with Gus Edwards there, and now they added another addition of Dalvin Cook and Justice Hill. That's a 3-headed monster with the running back system. So their rushing defense really has to be like this. This might be. It's going to be an offensive game because we've got 2 offensive style quarterbacks in Mahomes and Lamar, but this could be a defensive game. I think whoever gets the ball first, whether it's the Ravens if they defer or the Chiefs defer and we get the ball, I think whoever scores first sets the tone for the game. Because we've seen where the opposite team that the Ravens defer, they score maybe a field goal and then we score a touchdown and then we shut out on defense and then we keep on scoring. So I think whoever sets the tone and scores first, they're gonna set the tone for the game. But for the defense of the Chiefs, they really gotta stop Lamar and stop the RPOs, the wide receiver screens. They have to decide how to defend Andrews and likely. Because if Andrews is open, likely's going to be open. Vice versa. If Andrews likely is open, Andrews is going to be open. Now, because we all know that Andrews is Lamar's security blanket. And obviously, it's like in the NFL, I think it's Kittle, Well, it could. I mean, you can make a debate. You can either have Kelsey number one tight end, Kittle, and then Andrews, or you can have Andrews, Kittle, whatever how you want it. Like it's about your opinion. But
Andrews is 3.
really,
That's fine. Andrews is 3. It's fine.
It's really. I mean, you can go either or. One, Andrews 3, Kittle 1, 2, 3. And it really doesn't matter. Really, they're all good tight ends. But I think that regardless,
there's other good tight ends as well.
Look, I'll let y'all talk, man. I'll let y'all talk. Like, let me talk.
No, because I'm not gonna let you sit here and be like, you could put Andrews 1, Kelsey 2.
Can.
No. Andrews is 3, and that's good because the 3 of them are really good. After them, there's probably a bit of a drop off.
No, but I'm saying you can really make a debate for 1, 2, 3.
No,
Kittle.
He's number 3, and that's okay.
He's not number 3. I mean, you can ask any NFL fan. Or after I say this,
okay, any NFL fan that happens to like the Baltimore Ravens, sure, they'll put him number 1.
All right, and before I finish, let me ask you, who's your top 3 tight ends right now, in order?
I gotta go. I mean, Kelsey's number 1. Like he's a receiver more than he is a tight end to me. I can't stand George Kittle. Like everything. The long backstory about that, but Kittle too. Unfortunately, I'll put Andrews is like he is a little bit slept on. I think in the national scene of like he's one of those guys that like he could have put up like 1,500 yards and like still wouldn't get talked about as much as he probably should for whatever reason. But I still don't think he's better than. I think he's more durable than Kittle. Kittle's been like banged up, pretty consistently in his career, and really this is the first time we've seen Mark Andrews miss extended time. So for that reason, maybe you could put him 2, like based on availability. That's one of the biggest things. If you're not available, you're not. You can't. You're useless. But from a talent and like skill set wise, I mean Andrews catches damn near everything, but I still probably got to put him. A lot of people make the case that like Dallas Goedert on the Eagles is up there, and like I don't think we utilize him right, but I still think Andrews is like far better than Dallas Goedert. So I'd go Andrews 3. Like no matter how you slice it, I'd still put him probably 3rd. But like no one's touching Kelsey. Like I don't even think Kittle is close.
Kelsey has I guess overall career, like Kelsey has been the top tight end, but like he's had some games where he's got hit and he fumbled the ball and
he can't be unstoppable everywhere though. Yeah, you can't. That's like saying he's got to be perfect every time out. Like that. That's not gonna. I mean, he's.
Yeah, I think that he has to be perfect in this game, man. He has to. He has to. I mean, no. To be honest, I think that. I mean, I get from the defensive side for the Chiefs. I
respect Jordan. I don't mean to cut you off, but I respect how you guys are like the most bullish fan base. Like there's gotta like every Ravens fan I talk to is like they talk exactly how, and like no offense, like I'm not trying to say you're wrong in any way, but like they really do think this team is like no one's gonna give them a challenge. And I'm like,
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
I've said it. The only really team that can really beat us is ourselves. To be honest, I'm not trying to be funny or real. I'm just trying to say like
that's pretty bold talk right there.
I mean, I think that I'm not scared of no team. I mean, Mahomes is he's proven he's a 2-time Super Bowl winner, but we have the best team right now, best defense right now. Offense clicking on all cylinders.
I feel like you're trashing the Chiefs defense. Like, do you look at the numbers?
I mean,
the Chiefs defense is number 2 in the league yards per game. Pretty good.
Baltimore's number 6. And aren't we number 1 or number? I thought we were number 1.
You're number 6 in yards per game. Look at points per game. The Ravens are number 1. You know who's number 2? The Chiefs are right there. Passing yards per game against. The Chiefs are number 4. The Ravens are number 6. So it's not that far off. Okay, the Ravens lead the league in sacks. You know who's second? The Chiefs. They have 1 less sack. So the Chiefs defense is not like some non-existent entity in this matchup. Like Spagnuolo is a really good defensive coach. That's why I'm like, because Aaron said like he's hammering the over, which I feel like is probably would be kind of an upset because I think some people would look at this matchup and think it's probably going to be low scoring because the Ravens like to run the ball a lot. The Chiefs, even when they pass the ball, it's a lot of short, quick passes, which count as like extended running plays. So you could see two really efficient offenses, and it could come down to, like, once you get into the red zone, what team can score touchdowns as opposed to kicking field goals. That could be the difference in this game.
Very true.
Yeah. I mean, then I'll go. I guess I'll go with the I was go with the offense for the Chiefs. I mean, I think Mahomes has to have almost perfect game because like he has to put the ball in the right spots and his receivers have to get it. I mean, we've all seen the critics that we saw in the beginning of the season where Mahomes threw interceptions and I mean, and some of the balls he threw like they were catchable. Just the receivers can't make a catch. So he really has to play like a Michael Jordan-esque game, man. I mean, we've seen him hobble on one foot and do good things last year in the playoffs. So he really has to be the. I mean, he really has to be on his A game against his defense. I mean, for real, like, because like I mean, I think that Kyle Hamilton is gonna play. I've heard Kyle Hamilton's gonna be playing on Kelsey a lot. They might do some flip-flop between Kyle Hamilton, I think maybe Roquan, because Roquan can kind of like guard that middle to the side, and like Patrick Quinn can guard to the left to the right. So we'll see about that. But that's why it might be like a defensive game. I mean, it's gonna be a shootout because of the offensive quarterbacks, but I think that the Chiefs. I mean, Mahomes really has to, and Kelsey. I mean, like you said, Kyle, like Kelsey is having a bad game and he starts dropping a lot of balls and like if he drops like a red zone touchdown, whatever he catch, who can be that next person to step up? Is it Rasheed Rice? Is it Mecole Hardman? Is it Marcus Valdes-Scantling? I mean, is it? I know Kadarius Toney got rolled out for the game, so but they don't really need him because he drops a lot of open balls and catches.
The Chiefs don't see Kadarius Toney anymore.
But like who? I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know who the Chiefs X factor is, but behind Kelsey, I don't.
Rice.
I mean, I know Pacheco is a dark horse.
Pacheco out of the backfield can make plays in the passing game.
But yeah, I think Mahomes really has to have one of his best. And it's weird because talking about him being playing in his first AFC Conference game on the road, it's gonna be the crowd's gonna be rocking. Huh? Now some of the AFC Championship.
Played in Buffalo last week.
No. Now some of the championship game.
Super Bowl's technically on the road. Like,
I mean,
even he talked about that stat. He's like,
he has
Super Bowls not in Kansas City.
Okay, because he has no choice. Aren't they in a neutral ground?
So now we're worried that he's playing an AFC title game in Baltimore as opposed to Super Bowls in.
Tough, like it's gonna. I mean, have you ever been to a
Ravens
game?
A bigger deal too.
Have you been to a Ravens game before? Like, have you heard the crowd? Exactly.
I've heard the crowd.
On TV.
A Ravens game. If I went to a Ravens game, I'd probably start a fight.
Damn. I don't see Kyle as that
and you get beat the hell up. And you get beat the hell up.
Please.
But
I've been to Baltimore. I've seen people in Baltimore. I'm not worried.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, that's a quote right there. That's a quote.
Yeah, okay. I mean, go to 34th Street, see what happens, man.
I don't know where that is, but I've probably been on it. I don't know.
I mean, if you want to, I guess we'll go with Kyle now. We're doing all. Oh yeah,
so the Ravens.
You never doing all. So now, oh yeah, I guess Ravens for the defense.
So for the Ravens, it's going to be a situation where they haven't been to this point. And yeah, they won last week. That's divisional round. You're in the championship title game. You have to have a different mentality. Some teams can kind of shrink under that pressure because you're one game away from the Super Bowl. And
you want to turn your head like
because for a team that hasn't been there. But I'm just saying the expectations.
No, I'm on Kyle's. I agree with Kyle. Yeah, Go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
because like
not
if you
I agree, but I do.
for Baltimore
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
hasn't been here, they in their mind might be like, oh, we're a game away from finally making it to the Super Bowl, and they can like mentally check out a little bit at key times against a Kansas City team that can take advantage of it. So they have to be locked in from kickoff to the end. They can't count it over, even if they're up like 10 late, because Mahomes has done some crazy things. So they got to treat this like, it's like the cliche you ask players, like they'll be up big at halftime. They'll be like, oh, but we're treating it like it's still 0-0. Like they have to keep their foot on the gas against Kansas City no matter what. And I think they should have a shot. Defensively, I think what they have to do is not underestimate Kansas City's offense just because they may think it's only Travis Kelce. We have seen players step up and become special when you're not expecting it. So if they don't pay attention to Rashee Rice, maybe he goes off for like 8 and 120 out of nowhere. And if he does do that, can Baltimore counter that? We've also seen Patrick Mahomes use his legs a little bit more. So if they just rush him and not care about lane discipline, does Mahomes beat him with his legs a few times? So, because look, I think the Ravens are top to bottom. If you put both teams on paper, you'd probably say the Ravens are the more talented team. But do they have that mentality to really knock out Kansas City, a team that's been here before?
No, I agree. We can't really look past like that's with both both teams in the AFC championship and the NFC. Like both like Purdy can't look past the Lions. The Lions can't look past the Niners. I mean, like that's with all four teams. Like
I wouldn't doubt that from teams like San Francisco and Kansas City. They've been here before, so they already know. But that it would be a worry for the Lions and Baltimore. Two teams first time at this position. Like, can they handle being here?
I think they. I mean, I think they can. I mean, I think Roquan is going to have that defense.
See, once again, we know you do. We know. Look, here's my question to you, Jordan.
Go ahead.
I don't want to hear what Baltimore does well. What is the one thing you're worried about in terms of Baltimore going against Kansas City tomorrow?
I'm just worried about Mahomes going off. Like, because playoff Mahomes is still playoff Mahomes is like Tom Brady. Like, you don't want to leave if it's just like say it's just like 2017, then to score 2017 in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, and we're up by 20. Or no. Let's make it a little more interesting. Let's say it's 2017 Ravens.
You said we're up 20.
No, 2017. The score is by 3.
Okay. I thought you said that first thing. It was like we're up 20, and I was like, okay.
we have been up against teams by 20.
I feel like you're slowly getting away from what I'm trying to get you to do here in this exercise.
56.
I want you to actually come up with something about Baltimore that you are worried about.
And I said, all I'm worried about is Mahomes.
That's a safe answer. I want to say something about Baltimore, not about Kansas City. What about Baltimore are you worried about? This is what I thought I was going to get.
To be honest, I mean, I'm worried about if we have a lead, it's like kind of like getting too comfortable with the lead, kind of like letting them come back. Like if we're up 30, if we're by 10, right? And like by 20,
we're up 30. I mean 10,
30, 40, 50. No, if we're up by like 20, right? Or no, if we're up by no, if we're up by 10, right? And like or up by a big lead. I don't know what the lead would be, but like I'm just worried about this Mahomes. Like I said, when you cut me off, like if it was like 2017, like with a minute something left to go in the fourth quarter, I'll be worried if Mahomes had the ball with his hands. Like we need to limit Mahomes's. We need to force 3 and outs. We need to put pressure on Mahomes every single freaking drive. We need to bite some kneecaps, like the Lions coach said. We need to really. This is like do or die. Like go home, lose or go home. So we need to put pressure on Mahomes every time. If we can't drop back, try to force him more Mahomes to throw bad passes. and I think we had the pieces there. Like Kyle Hampton had really matured in that role as being like the free safety. He's like a hybrid guy. He can play free safety. He can play up to the line. He can blitz, or he can go back, drop back. And then you have Marcus Williams there, or you got Brandon Stevens there, or you got Jalen Stone who had 7 interceptions this year on the season or 8, so he can drop back. So and you got Queen there in the middle. So I think we need to put pressure on Mahomes every drive, show him that this defense is crazy. It's championship Super Bowl level defense. We need to like every drive, like you said, Kyle. Like we can't. I mean, I don't think like looking at the press conferences and stuff like that. I think the players know
players are going to say the right thing.
No,
but
I'm
complete knucklehead.
But I'm going off of like the story of what happened a couple years ago when we had the number 1 seed and then we got had that week off. Well, that was different because we lost in the next round, but against the Titans the first.
How many of these guys were there though?
No, but I'm saying like that narrative. Oh, they had that time off, the week off, and they look rusty and they got beat by the Titans. Like this team is different, man, and I think that Roquan's gonna have them boys ready on defense. I think that Mike McDaniel's gonna have them boys ready. I think Tom Mungan's gonna have them ready on offense. But yeah, I think that like Aaron said earlier, I think it's gonna be a slugfest of like offense and high scoring game. And we'll get to the scoring, like all the score predictions after we go around. But yeah, for the Chiefs, I mean,
for the offense. Okay. So I just want to summarize this. So your biggest worry would be the Ravens get up and they get conservative,
like getting lackadaisical, like if we're up, thinking that it's over and it's not.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't. I mean, I know every team has a flaw. I just don't. I don't know what the flaw.
Go ahead and kill what you just did and try to tell me you don't know the flaw of the Ravens.
You don't think Lamar potentially turning the ball over is at least something in the back of your head? Like, I know he's been playing lights out for a while, but
yeah, but I can say the same for Mahomes. He can turn the ball over.
Yeah, but
he can fumble.
But Mahomes has been there, done that. Like how many times? Like that's the thing.
I understand. But like both quarterbacks can mess up. Obviously the playoff atmosphere, like
who's more likely to mess up though? Is what
I don't know because Lamar's been. I mean, he has some instances where like throughout the years where he's tried to run the ball, then he got stripped from him, whatever. Like Mahomes did it, like happened the same time. Like they got freaking trashed by the Raiders, man. Like come on.
That's a divisional game, though.
No, I understand. I mean, both quarterbacks. I mean, hey, both. Didn't Lamar? He up with Tom? I think Tom Brady. I think and he had like the 4th most perfect passer ratings. I think or something like
that. My thing to every Ravens fan is let me see him do it in this game and let me see him do it in the Super Bowl, and then I'll give it to you because I don't care. He's unstoppable in the regular season. I'll give you that all day and tomorrow. I'd rather have him in the regular season than Jalen Hurts. But like in the playoffs, I'm like, show me. Like because I hear.
Tomorrow.
If I was in the Ravens fan seat right now, I'd be like, I don't care what he's done to this point. I don't. Will he do it tomorrow?
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Ravens gonna prove to you again, like Lamar is why he's the MVP this year. Like
that also means if they lose, you can't be ducking anybody either. Don't be trying to go silent.
Who would I duck? I'm not
talking about going silent, not even talking about because we know if they win, you're gonna be the first one to be like, we go to the Super Bowl.
You damn right. You damn right.
If they lose, you're not gonna post a thing about it.
Well, because I'm gonna let it. Well, first, I'm gonna let it soak in and like, damn, like we all. But no, but I'll come out. I'll be like, yeah, like okay.
If Lamar comes out and doesn't like, let's say he plays okay, he has a pick, so okay passer, like just like not special at all. Are you I'm just curious because like if Jalen Hurts plays bad, I'm the first to be like he sucks. Like I'm very pessimistic. Like I'm like like are you gonna be like that's still my
podcast.
Every Ravens fan I'm around is like Lamar. Like no matter what, I'm like, how long has he been there, man? Like if he doesn't perform good tomorrow, I'd be like, should we have signed this guy? Like, I know he's a great athlete, so fun to watch, but like, you got to question: is he a winner after like tomorrow? If he doesn't come like balling out, is he a winner? Like,
I think
the same Ravens fans will be like, "Watch, we're going to do it next year."
I mean, if
like, you're as bad as Cowboys fans.
so let me just like reverse the question for y'all. Like, if roles were switched right and Mahomes had 0 rings and Lamar had two rings, would y'all be saying all this about Lamar?
If he's been to
y'all would say
done it though.
But I'm saying just don't think about the rings that Mahomes have. Like, I'm just trying to make a hypothetical.
Okay, so this is the same argument I have when you talk about Justin Herbert, you talk about Dak Prescott, you talk about Trevor Lawrence, any of these guys who haven't done it in the postseason. Yeah, I would talk the same exact way about them.
I feel like when Lamar, see, my issue with like Lamar haters and everything and people who like talk down on him is like, it's like when
he's had one postseason win. So the haters clearly knew something.
I'm just saying about just like clearly just overall Lamar haters, not just postseason. I think my issue with like Ravens haters is that when the Ravens, I understand when the Ravens play bad or whatever, Lamar gets extra hate. But when Lamar wins and has a good game, he still gets the hate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he still gets.
No, that's not hate though.
I don't see him ever get hate when they're playing well either. Like when they're playing well, everybody's like puts him on a throw.
Like you see analysts like Sam Acho and Richard Sherman talk bad about
guy. You know how many people have been riding with the Ravens all season, and you pick the one guy who said one thing about the Ravens, like, oh, all the Ravens haters out there.
I mean, I just look at social media and like,
yeah, that's what y'all pick the one guy who says one thing, and then be like
people will still rock with Purdy over Lamar, or like Hurts over Lamar, or like Josh Allen over Lamar.
Because Purdy's won playoff games already, and Lamar hasn't.
Okay, what about the comparison between Lamar and Allen? No MVP for Allen, no Super Bowl, but people still pick Allen over Lamar.
Josh Allen gets a lot of hate in the national media too, because
he gets a ton of hate.
He throws bad interceptions. He does all that kind of stuff. That's a thing.
But if you watch this last game, like, I don't know what else he could have possibly, like, at the end he missed, I think it was Diggs running across the middle on like another route, but like he threw 2 perfect dimes, 80, like one of them was like 70 yards to Diggs, hit him right in the numbers, dropped it. Like, my thing with Lamar is like, what was it? Just these last 2 years, he was injured at the end of the year, and I'm like, look, if you're not available, like you should get. I'm not saying it's his fault, but it's back-to-back seasons. It's like, okay, well, is this the franchise guy? Is this the guy we want to put all our chips to the middle of the table for? Like that, and then he comes, like, you know, he showed up small in the playoffs before. Like, it's just like, I don't. No offense, Jordan. Like, I know he's a great player. He's a great quarterback, but like, is he a winner? Is he one of those guys where it's like, I trust that guy to go win me a game? When like right now, I got to pick one guy to go win me a game. I can't say that right now because what is his year 6th, and he's not. This is his first AFC Championship.
I mean, like, but think of it, last year he was hurt.
But that's a knock on. That's got to be at least a little bit of a knock. Like Carson Wentz was MVP candidate, and then he got hurt. It was never the same. Like, there's all those stories of like what could have been, or like if Stafford wouldn't have been in Detroit for how long, if he was on a good franchise, he might have 3 rings. We don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, either you win or you don't. No matter what the opposite, like okay, you're injured. I don't know what. Like, it's like put up or shut up. This game is really for me like, go beat them. Like,
that's why I'm not really. I mean, that's why I said the Ravens are the only the only team that can beat ourselves is the Ravens. Like, if we're up, and we let them come back, beat ourselves. You know,
you only say that with teams who have won before. You usually don't say that with teams who haven't won to say that they can beat themselves.
No, really, because
that's the issue I have when you keep saying that.
We were 13. We were 13-4. Like, we're the best team.
Okay.
I'm not really scared of nobody.
I was scared of.
Was he really hurt or holding out? Who's this?
I was scared that the Eagles playing San Fran last
Who
year.
this? Who is commenting on my post, man?
I was scared to death of San Fran coming into Philly last year, and we were the best team in the NFL. And then I was scared to death of the Super Bowl.
And then to go back to the whole hate thing, like I sat there watching Brady win ring after ring, and people still question whether or not he was the best quarterback in the league. Like, that's legit hate. Lamar doesn't get hate. He gets criticism, and Lamar fans can't handle criticism for some reason.
Like,
there's other fan bases that are the same. One of them, there's an NBA guy playing in LA. A lot of their fans don't like criticism either.
Like your goat, like your goat, Tom Brady just always praises Lamar Jackson. There's nothing bad to say about him. Like, I don't like. He said, "Oh, man, you're gonna be the next one."
Yeah, I know that because Brady isn't some bitter guy.
He knows because he knows. He knows he's a great. He knows who's gonna be next. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, Lamar, you're gonna be next, man. Like I love how you
also
play.
Can't be seen as great if going into the season you had more MVPs than playoff wins. That's kind of an issue. Name an all-time great that hasn't had some postseason success.
Is it the NFL or like what do you mean?
Any sport. You're not going to name somebody great in basketball who hasn't won at a high level.
Yeah. Baseball's a little tough because that's like you need good pitching, you need good bullpen, you need.
Baseball is an outlier.
If you're Ken Griffey, like Ken Griffey's an all-timer, but like if he's the only, like Mike Trout, all-timer, but he's never going to win like jack squat.
I don't know who this user is. The question was he really hurt or holding out? I think he was hurt. I think he was hurt. He was hurt. He would have played.
I hope he was hurt. Like for that to happen.
To go to that conspiracy theory, he gets paid. All of a sudden, he plays all 17 games in the regular season. I don't know. That check made him pretty.
Anybody that Jory's all over me, man. She's like, so anybody that Chris Lamar is a hater, is that the type of Ravens energy we're on? Yeah, we're on that. But yeah, I mean, I think that so we're on the rate. Wait, what are we on? With the Ravens offense or going around the table?
Ravens.
I mean, at this point, we might.
I think Ravens
defense. Just do the game pick at this point. Although I will say, so Jordan, would you be worried, like if Kansas City takes away the middle of the field? Do you think Lamar can dissect Kansas City's defense on the perimeter?
I mean, who is on the perimeter guarding our receivers?
Can Lamar make the throws though? I don't care. You can have wide open guys if you throw it
all year
over his head out of bounds. It doesn't matter that he was wide open.
Did you see that pass he threw to Zay Flowers against Miami?
You can't just bring up a pass. He'd have to make more than one pass. I'm saying, do you think he could consistently all day drop back in the pocket and throw it over the top outside the numbers? Would you be comfortable with him having to do that?
I think against that weak like secondary, yeah, we can. I mean, who's on their outside? McDuffie? Like, what isn't he a free safety?
Okay, yes.
Who's guarding? Who's going to be
whether or
guarding?
Not do you think Lamar can make the throws? I don't care who your secondary is.
He got mad.
Oh man! Well, I guess it's my show now. So what's up, Chad? How we doing?
I don't know what happened, bro.
Yeah, these Ravens fans are ducking. Man. No,
bro. Man, you've been ducking me all year by getting on a podcast. Now I finally get on.
Okay, so Jordan, I'm gonna paint the picture.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mahomes drives the team down. They go up 24-20. So now you can't rely on Justin Tucker to kick a field goal, whatever.
Wait, I missed a scenario. So are we up or are we down?
No, you're down.
Okay.
Lamar's getting the ball, his own 25. The middle of the field isn't there. You think he can engineer a 75-yard drive, having to throw outside the numbers and not like quick wide receiver screen type passes, like out routes, corner routes, stuff like that. Do you think he can do that?
I think he can. I mean, if the game's on the line, yeah, I think he can. I mean, he would have to.
That's one of my issues in terms of I would need to see, like if Lamar put a drive like that together, a lot of people who think I'm a Lamar hater, you would hear a different tune coming from me. That's the one thing I need to see from him to really put him at a level where you could say he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league today. Because I know what he can do running with the ball. I'm not taking that away from him.
Like you said top. So you don't have him in the top quarterback tier? Like, what do you have him? Lamar, that like
because when you look at the quarterback tiers, most people would still put like Mahomes on his own.
Yeah,
and then below that, you're just trying to figure out like who to put in there. So if Lamar put a drive like that, I would safely say like, okay, Lamar is now in that tier below Mahomes. Not saying he's not in it now, but it's like there's just a jumble of guys who are kind of all the same that you're just having to put there just because you have to put them somewhere. Whereas if Lamar could put a drive like that together, he would be like cemented in there, and there'd be no question about it. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know who
that's probably true. Is going to end on.
I don't know who this user is, but thank you for commenting. I don't know. I can't really tell who it is. I don't see no
anonymous.
Anonymous viewer. It's all good though. I like the support, man. I'm trying to see. Yeah, no comments show up in my when I'm on my phone. Nothing comes up.
So then they must be commenting through a different feed of it.
Yeah, I mean it's on Facebook. I don't know, but
that means they didn't click the little link. Oh, it's Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
Don't get slapped. It's me, Anthony. Right?
What's up, Anthony?
Oh man, what's up, Anthony? Man, I mean, you could be right. The game could end on a Justin Tucker field goal. I mean, if that's the case, then we win the game. But
so
that means
doesn't really.
But that means Lamar has put in a position to get to that field goal range.
Not necessarily. Could be a turnover, short field. The offense doesn't do anything, and Tucker kicks a field goal.
Yeah, but your situation is Lamar at the 25-yard line, or here the only 25-yard line, and
you can't rely on Tucker because you're down by 4.
Oh, that was before. Okay.
He's got to engineer a touchdown drive. Is what Kyle's
he's got to get him in the end zone.
Yeah, he can definitely do that. I think he can.
Okay. I kind of want the game to come down to that to see what he does.
But hey, who knows? I mean, the Ravens can get away from the Chiefs, and it can be a blowout. Who knows? What? Or it can be the opposite.
Chiefs can blow. That doesn't really tell us anything about Lamar, though. Because I feel like if it's a blowout, that means the defense probably turned Mahomes over 2-3 times. I want a situation where it is back and forth, late game, under 2 minutes. Lamar's got to get them down the field. That's what I hope this game comes down to. And if it's not this game, I hope the Super Bowl comes down to that then.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I guess we can do our score predictions now. Aaron, do you want to go first? And don't say 42-38. No team. Like, you have to pick a side, man. Pick a side, bro.
All right. Now that Kyle always kind of makes some compelling arguments to where I start like trying to shift the gears in my brain to like, all right, the way he laid it out, I start thinking a little bit differently. So maybe there will be more long drives than I anticipated because I still think Mahomes has the capability of like just chucking 65-yard bombs down the field every once in a while, which I think the Chiefs will take their shots in this game. It's Andy Reid. I've seen him do it time and time again where it's just all gas, no brakes sometimes. So I still will go relative. I think it's going to be like 34-28 Chiefs, to be honest with you.
Okay. Still a high scoring game.
Still relative, yeah, just not like
that's still pretty high scoring. I don't think it gets that high. I feel like this has 27-23 written all over it. Now, who do I have winning though? All right, okay. So I guess technically on Big 3, I took the Ravens minus 3.5. I've got to stick with it. So I'll say 27-23 Ravens.
That's a good score. I definitely think it's gonna be a shootout. On both sides of the ball. So I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think it's gonna be 30-24 Ravens. 30-24. I mean, then again, like Anthony Price said, it could be a 3-score game. It could be a 27-24 game. But I think I'm going to higher end score. I think I'm going 30-24. Wait, what I say? 30-24? Or what I say?
Yeah.
30-24 Ravens. So I mean, it's gonna be high score. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be fun. But I mean, I think the NFL world has been waiting on a Mahomes Lamar AFC Championship game. The world's gonna get it. Oh yeah, they have.
No,
just like Lamar.
No, they haven't.
Just like Lamar said, two heavyweights going at it.
So what's Lamar supposed to say? Of course, he's gonna call himself a heavyweight. Lamar's not a heavyweight. You gotta win in the postseason to be a heavyweight.
Next topic.
That'd be like me coming out here and be like, I'm about to fight Tyson Fury. I'm the greatest heavyweight ever. You'd be like, we never seen me fight.
Two heavyweights going at it.
Yeah. People like, who are you?
So you're saying a few years ago, like when Lamar was like, they had that 14-3 season or 14-2 season. You didn't say that 1 year people didn't want Mahomes and Lamar in the AFC Championship?
No.
They did.
No, the better quarterback matchup with Mahomes, Joe Burrow, to be honest with you.
Joe Burrow? No. This was before Joe Burrow got into the league, I think. Or maybe he was hurt that year. I don't know. Burrow was in the league when he had. Well, Lamar had the MVP season.
Yeah.
I just don't put Lamar in. Yeah,
he's
Brady. Everybody wants to see Brady Mahomes before Lamar, whatever that season you're talking about.
Man, Lamar's not no true MVP. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, Anthony Price.
I completely agree with that. McCaffrey should win MVP, but they'll never give it to a running back. Lamar's getting it by default. You do know that, right?
Oh, by default. Get the hell out of
here. His numbers this year aren't even up to his MVP season the last time he got it.
There was no.
This was a year that if the voters had any guts, they'd have given it to a running back, a non-quarterback, and they're not going to do it.
I believe CMC should win over Purdy for sure. Like if it was going,
he should win over Lamar, but they want to give it to a quarterback, and Lamar is the default choice at this point because there's nobody else you can really give it to.
He earned it. He got
having worse numbers than his last MVP season. He earned it. No,
but still, like he got his team to a 13-3 record.
His defense did stop giving him all of this credit for their record.
The defense. Oh my god, bro. All right, next topic, bro. Christ, man.
Ask anybody to break down Baltimore. They'll tell you elite defense. They'll say the defense is more elite than their offense is by a mile. What's elite about their offense?
Have you seen Ravens games?
Yes. I feel like you're dodging the question. You're thinking about because you don't know what's elite about their offense. You're stalling right now.
I'm not stalling.
What's elite about their offense?
What's good about their offense? I mean, they're dynamic.
How?
You
can't just say that. How are they dynamic?
Have you seen what Zay Flowers has done in his rookie year? Have you seen what Odell has done? Have you seen what Odell has done? Like he's been cooking the last couple games at the catches he made.
So you're breaking down 17, 19 games into a couple of games of Odell here, a couple of games of Zay Flowers there.
I mean, I'm not gonna hold on. What has everybody done? Oh my god, y'all just like don't watch games, man.
Hold on, I gotta pull up. Let me pull up Odell's stats. I gotta.
Yeah, all right, Commanders fan.
To be honest with you, I don't.
I mean, I'm not saying OBJ is like a top receiver, but he's definitely done his thing like as far as getting open and making the catches that he needs to make.
See, hold on.
Has he been worth the money you guys pay? In your opinion, has he been worth the
I think so. I mean, I've seen him live a couple games. I'm not stumped. Like everyone in the comments who commented your team at the playoffs, and like I don't want to hear y'all right now.
So Odell Beckham's regular season, he has 35 catches. Real dynamic. 35 catches? Bro.
Wasn't he hurt like some of those games though?
Always
Against
is.
the Texans, 1 catch. The Dolphins, 1 catch. The 49ers, 2 catches. The Jaguars, 1 catch. The Rams, he blew up for 4 catches. 3 against the Chargers, 4 against the Bengals, 1 against the Browns, 5 against the Seahawks. This has been a terrible year for Odell Beckham. 35 catches, 565 yards. That's terrible.
He's the Ben Simmons of it.
Yeah. I killed your whole vibe right there with that one.
I mean, hey.
The Ravens do what they got to do on offense.
If Odell can play like he did when he was on the Rams Super Bowl, it's just a wrap.
I think the Ravens
also
are hard
had
to
Matt
stop.
Stafford throwing to him. A little bit different.
Okay. Lamar better than Matt Stafford, but
okay. As a thrower, no, he's not. You were lying to yourself with that one.
Everything he brings to the table, running, being able to escape and everything else. Like I'll give you, like he's hard to stop, but like if let's say this, Jordan, if you kept Lamar in like he wasn't mobile, he had a sprained ankle. Let's just say he's 50% of what he could do running the ball, and he was forced to stay in that pocket. Would you be like, or he can go toe for toe with Burrow or with Josh Allen even? Like I can't put him there. Like if he's limited to just throwing the ball, he can't get out of it.
But you like the way y'all are talking, like he's a terrible passer. He's not a terrible.
I'm not saying he's terrible.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the passes he made?
You threw out that their offense was dynamic. I gave you the guy who plays on the outside numbers, Odell Beckham. He had 35 catches all season.
Okay, and now it's the playoffs. Now it's a different.
So if I took away Odell Beckham's name and I told you that those are the numbers of Juju Smith-Schuster, you would say Juju's a bum. But because Odell's with the Ravens, they're dynamic. Now I'll give you, Zay Flowers had a really good rookie season.
He's a great player.
He also played across the middle a lot and gets a lot of his catches that way. He had 77 catches.
Right.
And I'll never say anything bad about Zay Flowers. He went to BC. Love him.
Bateman, but dark horse receivers.
He's
Aguilar catching balls now.
You did not just throw at Aguilar. No.
Hey,
Aaron and I know about Nelson Aguilar.
Lamar.
Though he has making that argument against us.
He might not have the numbers, but he actually has been like he's been contributing. I'm not gonna say he's like. I just think
Aguilar has made some big catches. Yes,
I think the thing with the Ravens is as a whole they're so hard to stop.
Yeah, they are.
They have this guy who can do this. They have this guy that can do that. They have Lamar that can escape the pocket. They can if they can run the ball. Like I feel
now they're getting a more dynamic player. And Andrews back. That's another problem.
We already know who Andrews is.
Okay,
because Lamar's comfortable throwing the ball over the middle. That's why Aaron and I keep asking you if you.
Yeah, Lamar can throw.
That's why I was like, you take away the middle of the field. How comfortable would you be with Lamar?
Comfortable. I say 8 out of 10. I'm comfortable.
I think you're wildly crazy for that, but
I mean, we'll see tomorrow, man. We'll see
tomorrow. The fact that you didn't say 10 out of 10, I guess I'll give you some credit for that.
I want to see him do it against the Chiefs.
We'll show y'all.
I want to see him do it against the defense.
Apparently, Jory said they're what? Jory said what they're like top 2 and something cornerback. I don't know what Jory said. I don't know what's that. They said I don't know who their cornerbacks are for the Chiefs. I really don't know.
Okay, so the only thing you can say about the Chiefs secondary is they don't necessarily pick the ball off a lot. I think in terms of interceptions, the Chiefs were towards the bottom. And that's fine because you don't necessarily have to pick the ball off to be effective in the secondary. So, look, it's just going to come down to, the linebackers for Kansas City have to be aware of Andrews, Likely, those guys over the middle. Because I will still say this, even though Ravens fans don't want to hear it. Force Lamar to throw the ball outside the numbers, you see a much different quarterback. Because he's not comfortable doing that right now. Because he's gotten comfortable throwing over the middle because it's been there for him most games.
Yeah,
And I heard shut down OBJ.
Let me see what because I heard it's gonna rain too. That could be a factor for both teams. Let me double check on that.
That'd be more of
But let me just double check. I'm not more. So they get at 3, right? It's 3 a.m. My bad. At 3 p.m. it has a 45% chance of rain. At 3 p.m. So
that just plays into my hands of a lower score. If it starts raining, then you can definitely count out Baltimore trying to throw the ball.
What about Mahomes?
I think Mahomes will still throw in the rain.
I think Lamar will still throw in the rain. I mean, he's playing in rain games.
He'll throw a lot of, short stuff to the outside, which is fine. I mean, I'm not even saying like that's not a way to go at it because, Zay Flowers is very shifty with the ball, Bateman as well. So you throw it quickly to them, and yeah. Yeah, George just gave you the stat that I gave you about their defense being like second in the league, yards against and all that. You're trying to make it seem like I'm trying to think of a really bad defense in the league.
The Eagles.
Okay, I guess we'll use that. You're trying to make it seem like they're the Eagles defense. The Eagles had their issues defensively. Yeah, everybody and their mother was throwing against the Eagles defense.
Man, and shout out like Matt Patricia can never I can't stand him for that. I'm not even saying it was his fault. He took over midseason, but he's forever dead to me after that. They got worse when he took over. So I don't know.
Yeah, that was just it just came across as desperate when they made that move. And I don't like teams acting desperate for no reason.
It was very desperate and it didn't work at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jory, I gave those stats out earlier. Jordan's just choosing not to care about the defense actually being good. Spagnuolo's going to have wrinkles for Lamar. Can he spot them?
It's going to be going. But
all right, let's go NFC, man.
Yeah, we had a good talk. So Niners Lions, and I'll say I really do have respect. I have gained respect for Dan Campbell because I mean they definitely deserve their first playoff home game. I mean they've had a drought for like so many years. So Dan Campbell has really changed that culture. From a 1-17 team to what I don't know what the record was like.
Last year they went.
He ain't busting nothing, Jory.
9-8, I think, or something like that.
The chat's speaking, my brother.
Anyways,
the chat is speaking. Last year they went 8-9. They had Aaron Rodgers with the chance to get them into the playoffs against them, and they beat. Wait, how did it go?
They needed somebody else to win, and that.
Yeah. The Lions needed some other stuff to happen, and it didn't go the way so they were eliminated, and they still played that game and beat Green Bay, which I thought spoke a lot about what Dan Campbell's done in Detroit. Like he's completely taken away that losing culture that's been around them. Like before Campbell got there, all people talk about with Detroit football was they forced Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson to retire early. That's what Detroit football was known for. And now it's like last year they built a foundation, and this year they completely, built a house of success in Detroit. And I felt like last week was important for them to get that win because I think they could breathe definitely easier knowing that they were a favorite going into that game and they got the win. They have another challenge this week against the Niners team that they lost D'Amico Ryans and everything on defense, but that defense is still really good. Fred Warner is probably one of my favorite players to watch. Like he's just all over the field. So it's gonna be tough. I would go with the Niners, only because I mean that was my pick before the playoffs started of the Niners making the Super Bowl. So I'll stick with that as well. I just think the Niners are going to have to, hope you get good Purdy because, the Purdy that played against Baltimore, the Purdy that you kind of saw for a lot of that game against Green Bay wasn't really good. And then he turned it on late, gave them that big drive to win it late. I think if Purdy is on, I think the Niners probably win a little bit easier. But I definitely think the Lions will make a game of it because they're tough. Like with Gibbs and Montgomery running the ball, Goff doesn't really turn the ball over a lot. It's usually when he starts turning the ball over is when they get blown out. So I don't think he will. I guess we're supposed to go over keys. So I'll just get my keys really quickly. So for the Niners, the keys will be to stop the running game for the Lions. Because if you stop that, it takes a little bit away from their passing game because they want to run the ball to establish the play action pass. So take away the running game first. And then Niners offensively, Purdy, take care of the ball. Simple enough. For the Lions, it will be get pressure on Purdy, get him off his spot. That's usually when you can force turnovers against them. And then Lions defensively, I mean, that was the Lions defensively. The Lions offensively, establish a run and time of possession. But I'm taking the Niners to win. Lions defense is nowhere. Yeah. Did anybody? I don't know. Did anybody say that the Lions defense was? I hope I didn't say that when I was just talking there. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Yeah, I wouldn't put the Lions defense near the Ravens defense. No.
Hutchinson is a beast, though.
I don't know.
I like Hutchinson a lot, even though he's a Michigan Wolverine. But
man, Anthony Pressey tripping, man. No one said anything about anything. I don't know.
Washington, but I'm glad we traded away Chase Young. Okay. Well, yeah, Chase Young's days in Washington, yeah, he probably did need to go.
But yeah,
well, hold on. I want to ask Anthony, since you're a Washington fan, who do you want to be the coach? But yeah, you guys go. I just want to know who he wants as the coach for Washington.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, like I said, I gain respect for Dan Campbell. He really changed that culture. Goff, has really proven himself to be like, that quarterback for them for now. Until they decided to get him another quarterback. But as of right now, like he is their quarterback. I didn't really expect them to be in the AC Conference Championship because I know I'm not AC, I mean NFC, because I thought, if you were to ask me at the beginning of the season who would be your final or your two representing the NFC, I would not say the Lions, but Dan Campbell, he coming to the league, he did the introductory press conference and people thought he was a clown by saying that, but he really, like, every team he's faced, like, I've known that like those first couple of years he was coach, either they might have lost a couple of games, but they were still in the games. Like they were still like they were that team that was if a team was a top team in the NFC and they couldn't afford to lose, the Lions were that team to like mess that kind of that mission up for that team. But now they're in the position to go to their first Super Bowl. It could be Ravens Lions, it could be Chiefs Lions, it could be Niners in there. But who knows? Like who really knows? Because if there was an NFL script, the script has put these 4 teams in the
Ravens fans are loving the script because the script says Niners Ravens in the Super Bowl.
It could be.
The colors of the logo.
Yeah, I cannot stand that theory. Because of that theory, I low key want the Chiefs and Lions to win just to see what those people will start saying then. Well, if you look at the colors closely, I mean that shade is a little bit of like shut up.
Like, but no, I mean, think about. I mean, what like last year was like a reddish, pink and green to Eagles Chiefs. But
yeah, I got to look at the upcoming logos and see if this holds true. Then I'll just like, all right, I know the Eagles won't be in it for a little bit, or see what
but
ways are looking like the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna literally go back to the ones the Patriots were in and be like, oh, so were the colors matching them too? Or is this only like the past couple of years that the script has been written all of a sudden?
Do you think the refs are in on it at all, Kyle? As far as like keeping games close or like?
But then they have this one ref? He's one of the black refs. He calls a lot of the penalties against the Ravens or something like that. Like he always
they're already setting it up. If they lose, it's gonna be that black guy had it out for us. Like, come on, man.
No, I just read that he was gonna be like a lot of people don't like him like as a ref, like because he calls flags against the opposite team. Like,
okay, so I feel like when it comes to the playoffs, as a ref, if you're a ref that kind of lets things go, then fine. Teams should understand that. My only thing has been if a ref establishes a certain way at the beginning of the game and then all of a sudden flips it up in like the third or fourth quarter, that's where I have an issue. Because then that just looks like how the players are supposed to adjust to that. But if you're allowing like corners and all them to grab and hold in the first quarter, then let them do it in the fourth quarter. Because then at that point, the players can know, okay, if you're going to clutch and grab at me and I'm not going to get a flag, then I'm not going to complain for it. And I'll just have to be more physical going up for the ball. But if you're going to let grabbing and holding in the first quarter and then in the fourth and the key moment be like, oh, that's pass interference now. Then we're allowed to question the refs when they do that. But I'm assuming that's not going to happen in this one. Hopefully, because I hate when that becomes the storyline and then like the team that won, it's like, oh, you only won because of this call. And usually games come down to more than one call. There could be a missed opportunity early in the game that puts you in that position that call cost you. So you can't just look at the call. You have to look at the stuff that came before that. So, yeah. I'm not buying into the script or anything like that. When I watch it, it kind of is what it is.
So your prediction, you're having Ravens versus Niners in the Super Bowl. Because you put the Niners, because you said you're going to take we're going to have fun on the Ravens.
I have the Niners winning the Super Bowl. I'm sure you're probably going to ask that probably later on, but yeah, I got the Niners winning the Super Bowl. I had that before the playoffs started. I actually had Niners beating the Bills because I just thought it was going to be a weird year in the AFC. And, of course, it just didn't go that way.
Can't ever take the Bills. Not to say
I know. Wrong. In the back of my mind, I thought that, but I was like, 2023 has been a weird sports year. Wouldn't it be the year where I'd count the Bills out and be like, oh, here all of a sudden they decide to do something in the playoffs?
I was thinking that whole game, I was like, if the Bills find a way to beat the Chiefs, they'll beat the Ravens. Like, that was like my thought process. Like,
no, just go ahead, Aaron. You can.
I think they would have talked about
it. Man, I'm like, if you think I'm a Ravens hater, like I'm to the tents on the 49ers. Like I pulling out all the stops, pulling out all the conspiracies or a rabbit's feet to like get some good luck for the Lions. But I feel like the train stops here. Like I can't see Jared and I'm not a Jared Goff hater, but like not to say he's better or worse than Purdy, whatever. I don't even want to really go into that. It's just him against this 49ers defense that can just bully you at times. Like if they can get pressure after him, like it's going to be a long day for them. I still don't think it's going to be like a blowout. And like, even if the Lions lose this game, they can hold their head high. Cause like, when's the last time they were in the NFC Championship, if ever? I don't even know. But like, I just think this San Fran team it's too much. Like, it's McCaffrey, it's Debo, it's Ayuk, it's Kittle on offense. Then obviously, like Kyle, you talk about Fred Warner. You talk about the D line with Hargrave coming over from the Eagles just to pile on that already loaded Nick Bosa, everybody else on that D line, and it's just I would love to see the Lions with Gibbs run all over them, and like they might be able to at first. I think in the first half, going into halftime, this might be closer than people think, but like eventually, like San Fran will just out muscle them, and I don't know where you go from here if you're Detroit. Like if you let's say you go to the NFC Championship this year, lose, you go to the divisional round next year, lose. It's like, do you have to go get an elite quarterback? Maybe, like maybe that will be the missing piece to get them like over that hump. Because I think for years to come, they could sustain this and be a playoff team. It's just now they're going to be in one of those weird positions. Like, how far do we want to go to? Like, do we want to turn ourselves into the Rams where we trade away draft picks to go get, a quarterback that we think is worth it? Like, I'm going to be real curious to see how they play that. But unfortunately, I just think the 49ers are going to be too much. And, like, defensively matching up, like, I think St. Brown is going to have a crazy game. I forget their Laporta, right? Is their tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to have to, like, really be Jared Goff's safety blanket. And like I think they're going to take away the middle of the field and force Goff to like make hard throws all day, and I just don't see it. But I would love to be wrong on this one, but I just like it just logically in my head, I just can't twist it to like make the Lions win, no matter what I try and like simulate in my head.
I think for your scenario, if they were to like backpedal, so to say, next year and only make the divisional round, I'd be interested to see where Hendon Hooker is in terms of love that they picked him, and he's kind of been sitting around because I liked him at Tennessee before the injury, and I think it'd be interesting to see what their offense would look like with Hendon Hooker. But if the Lions end up beating the Niners, I don't care who comes out of the AFC. I'd probably pick the Lions to win the Super Bowl because I think it'd be cool just to see them like do it. Like, the city of Detroit, they would probably burn it down and just watch it burn for like 2 weeks because they wouldn't know what to do with themselves to actually have the Lions win a Super Bowl. Plus, with as bad as the Pistons are, like,
the Tigers, the
Tigers.
Oh, man. Red Wings have been bad for a while. I mean, they're starting to get respectable, but they're not good. And then, like, my dream scenario is like the Lions and Chiefs going to the Super Bowl and them beating. And I like Mahomes, but like the whole Taylor Swift thing, like they've just gotten so much buzz. And then if the Lions found a way of all the teams like to burst their bubble, that would be poetry to me because like Detroit deserves it. They've struggled long enough, and like the Chiefs are kind of like, I'm not gonna say they're the new Patriots, but they're a dynasty in the making, and it's like, boom, here comes little brother Detroit, boom, just wins the Super Bowl. Like that would be amazing to see that, but I don't see it.
I was just about to say, Anthony, maybe the Lions beat the Chiefs, get like some Eminem diss track of Taylor Swift. Swifties go crazy, and Eminem just torches them all.
Yeah. So, wait. So, Aaron, did you pick your winner of the Niners and Lions game?
Yeah, I got it. I mean, I didn't pick a score, but I just there's no way. I shouldn't say there's no way, but I just can't see it where the Lions find a way to. Maybe if it was in Detroit, there's a 40% chance, but I just can't feel out a way the Lions win this game. Like I hope I'm dead wrong, but I can't feel it.
Well, I didn't get my score. I'll say 30-17 Niners.
Man, I want to see Ravens Niners Super Bowl, but I think what a story it would be for like Detroit to like overtake the Niners and like first Super Bowl ever in team history. Like Dan Campbell's and their team's hungry. I mean, I love an upset in this one. I think I'm gonna go.
So you don't want to see the best team in the NFC. I got you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Niners because like they had they have CMC and Debo's playing. And they got the better tight end Kittle and the more veteran tight end. So I'm gonna go to the safe side, Niners. But I do want to see an upset at the same time because I would love to see the Lions in Super Bowl against like the Ravens, like Lamar's first Super Bowl, the Lions' first Super Bowl, like potentially win. So that would be a different story. But I do see the Niners winning it, but I would love to see an upset in this one. Like I want to see Goff and the defense, and I want to see them win it. For the city. So we can say, okay, Detroit's because their basketball team is ass. I mean, the Pistons is what 2-39 or 2-40. So I
Don't worry
mean,
about the record. The record doesn't matter at Detroit.
I mean, they need like 10 LeBrons and 10 Tatum's to make their team like above 500. Like, But anyways, yeah, the point is that they need a spark in that city for for the sport swirl over there. So yeah, as much as I would love to see an upset, I'm going to take the Niners, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be 34-24. It's going to be 34-24.
Okay. I will say, for like the first time forever, I went to like a restaurant down here in Atlanta, and I literally saw like a pack of Lions fans come in. I had never seen anybody wearing anything Lions since I've been down in Atlanta, but it was the same day that their playoff game was going on, and like they just walked in, they were just so proud to be Lions fans. And I was like, when's the last time those people walked into a building and were actually proud to be wearing Lion stuff?
Probably since like Calvin Johnson and then Barry Sanders, probably.
Yeah, I mean, even the Calvin Johnson years, it was like, yeah, they were exciting, but they didn't really win much.
I think they made the playoffs once, like maybe once, like a wild card game they lost or something.
Yeah, they do travel. I would agree with that.
I think they'll show out in San Fran. I think they'll be there in a draw. This is a rare opportunity.
NFC title game, they will show up for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we were gonna talk about the NBA, but we're already pushing like 2 hours. So if there's anything you want to, because I was gonna talk about
that trash All-Star reveal. You don't want my thoughts on that.
I mean, but I was gonna just get your thoughts on
Things are dumb. That's all I'll say.
I just want to get your thoughts on like the Bucks firing real quick, like how like the timing was kind of like off because you don't really see. I mean, I get the turmoil in the locker room, like with a couple incidents that happened, but you rarely see a coach getting fired like with a positive record of like what 600.658 or something like that above 500. So you don't even see a coaching firing unless like the coach is really, really just like bad. So apparently he has some like,
You're overthinking it. Giannis pulled a LeBron and got the man fired that he wanted. He wanted Adrian Griffin
because he wanted to like what?
He wanted to walk all over Adrian Griffin, and it wasn't happening. The Bucks wanted Nick Nurse. Giannis didn't want Nick Nurse because Nick Nurse was an established guy. So they went to his staff, picked Adrian Griffin. Adrian Griffin came in. He wanted to make some changes, and Giannis didn't like it. So Giannis can sit there and be like, oh, I was surprised. We're playing pretty good. You knew what was going on. Giannis doesn't want to be a villain. But this move makes the Bucks kind of unlikable because of how they did it. To hire a guy who Doc was part of like the consulting team that like vetted out Adrian Griffin, and he was like supposed to be a mentor to Adrian Griffin, but they kicked Adrian Griffin out the door. 20-something hours later, Doc Rivers is named the coach. They could have hired Doc Rivers from day one.
They could have.
No, they had him as a mentor. So the guy's 30 and 13 and apparently not good enough.
But he's NBA, so he was a mentor, but he was on ESPN too. Like, wasn't he doing games a couple times?
Yeah, but there's plenty of time outside of him working that if Adrian Griffin wanted some advice, he could reach out to him. Same way Jeff Van Gundy's a like a consultant on the Celtics for Missoula. You just never hear anything about Van Gundy.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if Adrian Griffin, maybe we don't know any information as far as like what was going on in the locker room, but I don't think that like, I don't think he deserved to get fired because like, maybe I can see if the Bucks were like bad, but like they're what, like
They
1 and 2 with the Celtics.
They stink defensively. Adrian Griffin
I mean,
is kind of
is that
seen
his
as
fault
a
or like the owner's
defensive
fault?
guy. Exactly.
I mean,
it's the GM's fault for trading their best defender in Drew Holiday
yeah, so it's
for
not
a
really
dude
on the
in Dame
coach's
Lillard
fault.
who couldn't spell defense if you asked him.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
wouldn't
then
really
you
be
wonder
on
why
it.
the defense stinks.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't place the blame on Griffin for that. I mean, I would place the owner of the GM on that decision, but it's like it was kind of like just how Austin
The
fired.
owner's
Like he
not going to
got
fire
fired.
himself. You fire the coach.
That's just messed him up, man. He got scapegoated.
Yeah.
It's a business.
He probably said something bad about Thanasis, and Giannis went off. I get it. He's the most expensive cheerleader in the league. He's untouchable.
Giannis he needs. I don't know, man. He needs some. I don't know, man. He needs. I get it, they're brothers, but he's just garbage, man.
But the way the league is set up, Milwaukee's a small market. So Milwaukee feels like they have to bow down at Giannis's feet to keep him happy in order for him to stay there. And it's a dangerous game that a lot of these franchises play, because what's going to stop Giannis from 2 months from now waking up and saying, I don't want to be in Milwaukee anymore? What's Milwaukee going to do at that point? They're probably going to fall off the map because they have to try to figure out how to bring in another star to replace Giannis. Because if Giannis leaves, Chris Middleton ain't it. Dame, yeah, we saw what Dame was in Portland. How did that go? That's what Milwaukee will turn into. And then Dame will probably run because Dame's not going to sit there for the long haul.
That just made my name.
His brother plays maybe like 2-3 games a year. He's the tryhard at the YMCA when he's on the court. And then he goes back and he sits there and waves a towel. Like that's his job.
That's got to feel awful though. Like if he's even a little bit competitive, like to see. I mean, like no hate. Like I'm sure he's happy for his brother, but like to sit there on the bench and have the same last name and like you're not even playing. It's like, man, like I'm in the NBA, but I'm not really in the NBA. It's like
it's like
that's gotta like I would eat me alive, man. Like mentally, that would. I'd probably stop playing. Like I'll be honest with you. Like
I mean,
I'd rather not play than like contribute in that way. If that makes like I don't have to be the superstar, but like to be totally written off and like basically useless for lack of a better word is like, damn. Like that would.
I mean, he could possibly. I mean, I'm not saying he's like good, but he can definitely like instead of riding the coattails of his brother, he can play on a team that actually needs a center. Like it can actually like develop him.
He wouldn't get any play. You know what he would be? He'd be 6 fouls. That would be his role. He would hack other big men, and then he would probably foul out in 8-10 minutes. That would be his career.
He's not even a board guy. Like he's not even a go get me. Like he's not Ilgauskas.
He'll grab a couple of rebounds off a hustle, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not like Ilgauskas back in where that guy couldn't do much of. But like he'll get you 15 boards every night. Like
right.
Even Odom for a while. Like, or Bogut. Bogut was another one.
Actually, like, I mean, like we might as well just go over the all. Like, how did we? Is it on NBA.com? The All-Star.
The All-Star. Yeah, that trash.
We might as well just look at it now.
It's trash. That's what I'm saying. Trash.
Let me see what's so trash.
Every year, fans love voting, and then they show you why they shouldn't be voting. How Dame Lillard is a starting guard in the All-Star game, I will never know. How Trae Young was number 3, I will never know. That's the fans. And there's other issues with it, trust me. But that's like the biggest one I saw. The minute TNT put up the starters and I saw Dame Lillard's picture, I was like, yeah, not having it.
I think a snub in the Eastern Conference was definitely Brunson. He was definitely one of the snubs. He's been going off
yet because we have to see who the reserves are. I'm assuming Brunson's going to be a reserve. Like if Brunson's not a reserve, then yes, he would be a snub.
Well, who the reserve? How do we know who the reserves are?
Reserves will get named, I think, next Thursday.
So, I mean,
also the NBA needs to go to 15 on the All-Star team. The everyday roster is 15, but the All-Star game is only 12 for some reason.
I'm on the.
You can't find the voting results?
No, I'm on NBA.com, but I just don't. I looked at the 2024 All Stars, but
yeah, February 1st is when they'll name the reserves. Thanks, Jory.
So it's the conference starters: Giannis, Joel, Jason Tatum,
fine.
Tyrese Halliburton and Dame Lillard.
Fine. Terrible.
And Western Conference is LeBron, Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I'm okay on the guards in the West, yeah.
Wait, so that means that are these the teams or are they going to combine like the two captains?
It's East-West. It's East versus West. Yeah. It's East versus West again.
This year? It's just like
so they did away with the whole Sandlot thing and LeBron and Giannis trying to play comedian up there. God, it was awful. Just make it East versus West. Keep it simple.
I didn't know that. So we'll find out who the East
fans hated that now. Fans liked it at first, and then after a couple of years, they hated it. So now the league's going back to East versus West.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it should be. The best players in the West against the best players in the East. Oh, so we're gonna find out who the reserves are for Eastern and Western like February 1st.
And at least that's from the coaches. I have faith in the coaches picking the right reserves.
Yeah.
Although there's gonna be some interesting, like, will Jamal Murray make one? I heard some people trying to give out reserves and they kept Jamal Murray off. I think it'd be tough not to finally send him to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I think in the East, the biggest thing might be. I guess Brunson would probably be the biggest thing in the East.
I'm surprised Anthony Edwards didn't get an All-Star starter bid. He's been going off. Anthony Edwards.
Would you put him in over?
Let me see.
Luka or SGA?
I'll probably put him over SGA.
Not a chance. I'm fine if Anthony Edwards is a reserve. I would not take SGA. No, SGA has to be the starting guard.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be. I didn't know there was gonna be East and West now. Like that's like whatever teams are set, they're the starters for that game.
Yep.
And then I guess the two stars with the asterisks. I guess they're the team captains. I guess. Or
So you don't got nothing to say about Jory saying that AD should be starting over Bron?
Oh, I thought she meant like does she mean like all-star or
yeah,
like
she doesn't think Bron should have been voted a starter. She thinks AD should have been.
No, I think LeBron still should have it. I think AD should. Well, because it's hard because you only have 5 players to play for a team. I think AD should get a reserve spot, but I think that I don't know. That's a good debate point.
I could argue somebody other than AD over Bron too. I think Kawhi could be a starter.
Yeah. I mean, he's been healthy all year, so finally.
Yeah. See, all it took was the league to say you need to play 65 games, and all of a sudden, Kawhi Leonard turned into Mr. Durable.
And Paul George, too, he's healthy.
I think Paul George normally has played a lot of games. It's just like since the crazy leg injury he had has started to have more kind of lower body injuries, but he's not necessarily been known at like a Kawhi level.
You're pushing you, but the flippers. Uh-huh.
Yeah, she didn't like the
Yeah, I
fact
don't
that I
know.
mentioned Kawhi being a starter. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I mean, I think Braun. I mean, I think he deserves it. I mean, he's gonna be in the All-Star voting like every year until he retires. But I think
Yeah,
that
because the fans just pick
I think
players that they just know. They
well, where's
don't they
Curry?
don't look at stats or anything like that for
I
it.
don't see Curry. Where's Curry? Is he gonna be reserve?
Because the guard spot in the West was going to be tough. Because if you put Curry on, you're going to leave Luka or SGA off, and Luka fans or SGA fans would be like, "You should be starting." I feel like Curry's going to be a reserve. Like if Curry doesn't make the reserve team, that would make big news. But you also have to look at it. You only have 7 reserve players.
I think it's gonna be Curry, Edwards, maybe Carl Anthony Towns as the backup center. Because he went off like well, I mean that's one game, but he's been
I'm not a big
producing.
Carl Anthony Towns guy, but I get it. He is having a good year. But the reserves is kind of where it gets interesting. Because I think they normally will do, because it's 7 reserves, they'll do like 2 guards, 3 forwards, and then I think they do like 2 wild cards, kind of. And however they do the wild card part will be interesting.
So who would be your reserves for the West?
I mean, looking at guards, you're looking at like Curry, Edwards, De'Aaron Fox has to be in the conversation, and you probably have to throw Booker in there. So out of those 4, maybe only 3 of them get it.
What about KD?
I'm talking about guards.
Oh
then
yeah.
Forwards, you're looking at KD's a starter. So forwards, you're looking at Cat, you're looking at Kawhi, Paul George. Some people probably be like, "Oh, put Wemby in there." I wouldn't, but
I mean, would you put Chet in there?
No. Leave them at the Rising Stars game, and then next year try to put them in. I mean, I don't know. Some people, you throw Kyrie into the guard conversation. But then you got to look at it. Oh, Jamal Murray, I just said. You got to throw him in as the guard. So that's like 6 people, and they probably only take 3 of them. I don't know. Then coaches will probably look at the records. So Minnesota probably will have to get a player or 2. Since they didn't get a starter, do they get 2 reserves? That's 2 spots taken away. The Nuggets have Jokic. The Nuggets probably get a second player. The Thunder, do they get a second player with SGA? If they do, who would you take? And the Lakers have LeBron as a starter. The Lakers are a 500 team. Would that hurt AD possibly getting in as a reserve? Like, we don't know how these coaches are going to vote now.
Right.
If I had to think about it real quickly, if I had to make a reserve for the West, I'd probably go Curry. Trying to think. Curry, Anthony Edwards. I'd go Kawhi, Jamal Murray.
Well, you just said Booker, but you missed Booker. But he's another guard. That's a tough. I pick if I was Booker and Murray, I pick Booker over Murray.
I'd take Murray, but I think that's an argument that I would listen to if you took Booker. And to be honest with you, as Jory put, I would probably put AD in. I also probably would have put AD in as a starter, but I feel like he'd have to put AD in. Then outside of that, I'm trying to think who's deserving. That's gonna be tough. Sabonis, I would put Sabonis in.
Okay.
I kind of lost track of how many I've made, but I think that's probably about 5 or 6.
We said Curry, Edwards,
Curry, Edwards, Sabonis,
we put
AD.
Murray in there.
I did say Murray, so that's 5. So basically 2 more outside of that. And I'd probably have to go another big. I only have Sabonis and AD right now. Oh my God, it's gonna be tough. Oh, I didn't say Kawhi again, so I guess Kawhi would be 6. I might go Cat 7. That might be it.
Yeah. Wait, Aaron, do you follow NBA or not really?
I mean, I pay attention to it, but like I know pretty much everybody you've talked about, except like I know this SGA guy is like crazy, but I don't really know anything about. Like I haven't watched him, but like I know Embiid went and got 70 the other night. Like I keep up with it. I just till the playoffs,
Okay.
I'm not like till the playoffs. I'm just like whatever. Like
Right.
But I respect, like I like the NBA. I used to love the NBA, but it's kind of turned into like just a 3-point shooting competition, in my opinion.
Oh,
And
are they gonna have that the Curry versus Sabrina challenge? And then are they gonna have that in
I feel like that's a
contest?
disaster waiting to happen.
what,
how
what
would
is
you
it?
do it?
You think Curry's gonna destroy her?
Well, how would you do it? The WNBA line is not the NBA line. The balls are too different. So would you just have her use the WNBA ball from the WNBA line and Curry does the NBA ball from the NBA line? Would you force Sabrina to shoot from the NBA line? How would they do it? I did hear, I think it was Frank Isola said, what if you brought Caitlin Clark in and had her go against Sabrina?
Caitlin Clark, can they do that?
I mean, she ain't got nothing else to do that day. I'm sure she would show up. Technically, why would Sabrina be there? It's the NBA All-Star game. She'd be there as a fan.
Have you guys ever watched like the WNBA? Like just pure like
like here and there. Like here and there.
Is it like not bad?
It's not bad. It's just like I work and I miss the games because they're like on like at certain times,
like weird times.
But I follow the Liberty. That's my team for WNBA. Like because I'm in Jersey, New York area, so I follow Sabrina Esco, Brandon Stewart.
Jordan, what guy? I got to ask you this. Like, what got you into the Ravens? Like to begin with.
I mean, I used to live in Maryland twice. And like I moved there, we moved there the first time, and then that's when the Ravens won the Super Bowl. With like the Shannon Sharp and with the gold shoulder. I think that was against the Giants. I think Ravens and Giants, and then
But then you like the Yankees. I'm not whatever whoever you like is fine. Like I'm
and
not.
Then we moved to Georgia. And then we moved back to Maryland. That's when they won the Super Bowl with the Joe Flacco and like Ray Lewis and all of them. So,
But you like the Yankees, right? Like you just like for baseball.
Man, you've been dying to like ask me this, bro.
No, I'm just like I don't care. I just like
because he has the same question that most of us do when we first hear your teams. Because you pick a lot of big brands, and then it's Baltimore, and it's like Baltimore is the one that doesn't fit. But then, like you said, you moved to Baltimore and they won the Super Bowl. So technically, at that point, they had won, like the other teams you picked. So I guess it kind of makes sense.
I mean, Yankees. I've always followed every time I play MLB The Show, I would play the Yankees. I mean, Jason Giambi, Hideki Matsui, Ichiro Suzuki.
Because they're stacked out there, like they got everybody. Like
I don't know. It's like I just like New York, man. I like New York Yankees.
So New York Giants,
my team.
No, I'm just kidding.
Trash. But yeah, I mean, we got Juan Soto, so hopefully we extend him. We'll see how he does. I mean, we should extend him. Like
third in the division at best.
He's a generational talent. We want to let go. It's like a Fernando Tatis or like you wouldn't say Soto's if you were to pick up Soto, you would have paid. He's a generational talent. He's 25 and his home runs like crazy.
Okay. But will he get the Yankees to a World Series?
I mean, I think
that's the only thing that's going to matter.
I mean, I'm not really worried about the hitters. I think I'm worried about just the pitching.
Yeah. I'd worry about the hitters too.
I'm good with the hitters, man.
But outside
of hitting looked when they lost to the Astros in the playoffs.
Oh, anyway,
terrible.
Man. God. Wait, man, we'll say
you have the course of Stanton killing your lineup.
Yeah, I know Stanton.
He's still going to be there.
I know Stanton.
That guy's an anchor for. Oh my god.
Oh.
But then, like,
so bad.
Who's gonna play? I'm trying to think who's even gonna play third. Like, who's playing third base for you guys?
For us?
Yeah.
LeMahieu.
Oh, 40-year-old LeMahieu who's hitting.
Yeah, he's like 45. He hits 210.
45.
Remember Colorado? He was like a 320 hitter. He gets the Yankees as a 210 hitter.
He had some years on the
Yankees where good hitters go to die.
He's not playing 45. What the hell?
He's like old. He's up there. He's like 34, 30, 33, 34. And he's another guy. He can't stay healthy for more than 30 games in a row. Like, but I'm just thinking, like, I mean, you go get Stroman. I think the Stroman. I would be on board for that. Like, everybody dismisses Stroman, like, oh, he's a good pitcher. I would take him.
I like him.
But then
I have to hate him because he's a Yankee now. Congratulations.
Yeah, now I have to. Yeah, exactly. But you got Volpe playing short, which we'll see.
Now we got the Martian coming up.
Who's that?
Dominguez.
Didn't he get hurt already? Or who was the guy that got hurt that you
got? He might have got hurt, but I don't know.
I crazy season ending. Like, it was just like he started hitting the ball like crazy, and then boom.
I think we still have 185. I think we still got IKF. Is there kind of play for? I don't know.
You got rid of Higashioka.
No, I think we still have him.
No, you got rid of him in the Soto trade, or one of those trade. Not the Verdugo. They just got Verdugo for.
You got Verdugo, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think about that, Kyle? I think we might have talked about that on the baseball show. Yeah, you don't care. He seemed like a locker room guy, locker room problem guy.
I like Verdugo. It's just, I don't know. He has a little power. He doesn't have a lot of power for you to really care.
But he
hits a decent average, but he doesn't hit a high enough average for you to be like, oh,
yeah.
His defense is okay, not great.
He's kind of a clutch guy though, because he seems like every time they needed a hit, like he was kind of. I was watching that game when he hit that. I don't know if it was a home run, I forget, but then they pull him to the side and he starts cursing like crazy, and he's I can't. He's like sorry, and he just keeps cursing on live TV. I was watching that game live this year, and I was like, wow, this guy is he's off the rails a little bit, but I mean, it's emotion.
Yeah, he's a little out there.
But yeah, when they got
the Red Sox have a bunch of young outfielders, and he was just kind of expendable.
Who's the Asian guy you guys have? He's good. I like him.
Yoshida? Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player.
Is he like Japan? Isn't he Japanese?
Well, he was
an Asian player.
Yeah, Asian player.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Japanese.
That's two different cultures, but
no, Asia's just the whole continent. Japan is where he's from, so Asian covers him.
I mean, I don't want.
I forgot his name. I wouldn't have said.
I don't want our Asian supporters to like be mad at us, man. Like,
I'll take the rap.
Asia's just the blanket statement for China, Japan, and all that. Like if you said who's the Chinese ball player you have and he was Japanese, that'd be an issue. But you say Asian, you cover all of that.
Oriental's the same
thing. That's like saying Otani's Asian when he's Japanese.
Yeah, Otani is Asian.
Yeah. Hideki Matsui is Asian. Otani Asian. Who else?
Yeah. That'd be like if you had a basketball player from Africa and you didn't know which country in Africa and you just said the African player, you're covering all your bases. If you try to single out the country and you get it wrong, then you look crazy. That's the same thing in Asia.
I
See,
guess.
Jordan thinks the Yankees are going to win the World Series too.
I mean, I don't. Yeah.
They're not. They're not. Don't even try to come with an argument like they can. They're not.
I mean, we'll have a baseball episode coming up. a separate one. It's all good. But do y'all have any final thoughts before we head out? We're pushing on
Jordan, you can't be an underdog guy because you could like the Orioles, and then at least for like you'd like the two teams from Baltimore. I'd be like, okay.
I do like the Orioles team that I do like what they're doing. Like now they got.
He only likes them because they're winning. He hated them when they were losing.
When they're now that they're kind of like they have some. I mean, and they won't win for very long. I can assure you that.
Yeah.
They just won't.
I mean, but they. I think they won. I think they won like the MLB pipeline's best prospects. Like they got.
Yeah, but
they are always up there in the prospect list.
They refuse.
That's the only way they can build their team.
Yeah,
I mean, Jordan, I don't know who you're. I'm not getting busted. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just tired.
No, you got busted for being a bandwagoner. That's why you're not an Orioles fan. Because
when you
were in Baltimore, the Orioles are trash, and you're like, I'm not gonna be a fan of them. I want to be a fan of the Yankees.
I was in Baltimore, and I was always a fan of the Yankees. Every time I went to a Baltimore Orioles Yankees game, I always supported. I had a Yankees jersey
because the Yankees are the better team.
No, but I've always supported them. Like,
I like if
you were an Orioles fan back then, it would feel so much sweeter than being good now.
I've never been an Orioles fan.
I know. I'm just saying, if you were an Orioles fan when they were bad, when they finally got good, you feel much better about it. Instead of being a Yankees fan and trying to explain your way into them winning a World Series when they're not going to.
All right, man. But I'm not a bandwagon fan. I never supported the Orioles. I like Kyle Ripken. That's about it. And Adam Jones. I like Adam Jones.
Adam Jones was a good player. But wait, so you like the Yankees? The Ravens have been the Ravens are never down bad like the Eagles are. And wait, so you're a Lakers fan, right? For basketball?
Yeah, because I was a California baby. I was a California kid. I was born in California.
But then, oh man, I mean, I'm whatever. Whoever.
Aaron, look, the Jordan story of teams is so hard to cover because, you said, you're a California kid.
But then again, but
all California.
But then again, I wasn't really there for much. I don't really know. I don't remember much of my childhood in California because my dad was military. So we always move around.
So where was the first place you grew up as a kid that you remember? What city were you in?
Probably Baltimore, like the Ravens.
Okay. So I feel like Aaron's would be like, so how come you didn't just turn to all Baltimore, Washington area teams?
I mean, I am, when it comes to Baltimore, I'm a Ravens fan, a Caps fan for an NHL because Baltimore really doesn't have it. They don't have a hockey team.
Yeah, so that's why I said Baltimore, Washington. You kind of put all together because
the DMV,
you said, they have the Washington hockey, they have Washington
Wizards,
NBA, where you don't have Baltimore. So
you said,
hey man, yeah, I kind of jumped around because I used to be big on the Sixers, and then when the Knicks got Melo and Stoudemire, I was like, man, I love this team. And I just wanted somebody to take down LeBron. I didn't care if it was the Bulls, the Knicks.
How am I a bandwagon fan? Just shut up, Jory. God damn. How am I a bandwagon fan? I'm telling, how am I a bandwagon fan? I'm just.
It's because your list of teams is synonymous with bandwagon.
But do I have to be I mean, I can fall in love.
Okay, just so if you just met me the first time and you're like, who are my teams? And I was like, Alabama football, Duke basketball, Yankees, Lakers. You would probably think, what do you like the Cowboys too? That's where yours is interesting because you would think you would be a Cowboys fan, but you're a Ravens fan, and it's like, Ravens usually don't go with those other teams. That's what's so weird about you. Not even in a bad way.
Because
they haven't been around that long, and they're still like they got 2 chips.
Because the first time I like seeing these teams play on TV, I'm like, damn, like I like this style of play, and the Ravens are kind of linked to Alabama because we draft a lot of Alabama playing like Mosley and Mark Ingram and like a lot of weird known.
That's like I mean, we got Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts was. I mean, obviously went to OU, but then
Marlon Humphrey, Alabama. Like a lot of people, a lot of.
I mean,
I'm not
Patriots draft a lot of Alabama players. I mean, drafting from Alabama past few years is like the easy way to go because they're just really good players.
I'm just saying, I don't want to be caught a bandwagon fan when I'm not. I'm just like, when I was young, I watched Coach K play or coach for on ESPN, and I saw them for the first time. I was like, damn, like Coach K, like is awesome, and I wanted to play basketball there, like when I in high school, but I never really got a chance to, because my coach never really got to let me play. So I mean, I want to go to Duke and play there, but that's my team. But
that's kind of a wild story.
No, just I mean, Duke was, like, I got. If you look at my closet,
I was like,
I mean, if you look at my closet,
that's pretty dope. I went to there in North Carolina.
If you look at my closet, I got like all Duke sweatshirts and everything, and like Duke shirts and stuff like that. So,
I mean, look, every kid wants to go to like Duke, North Carolina,
Villanova,
especially with like the Fab Five. Michigan was big for a lot of people, and
I mean, do you even know?
Villanova
kind of a little bit. I mean, do you even know Jory? Who the coach was?
I think she probably would know.
I mean,
before it's been so long with Saban. To be honest with you, I think I might know. I just forgot his last name. I think it was like Mike.
I think Jordan, like all your teams are like have rich history of, and even like I throw the Ravens in there just because they've been good since they've been like established as a team. Like they're not the Lions or like the Browns or even the Eagles. Like I get clowned all the time for being an Eagles fan, and like I kind of embrace it because like what Kyle said is like when they win, it's like so much more worth it. Like because you expect to lose almost because it's just like repeated losing, and like not to say like you can like whoever you want, but like I think a lot like Yankees fan, that's so like to me, like people like who they like the logo, the NY, and like the pinstripes, whatever. But it's like you can't tell me it's not easy to be a Yankees fan, even though they haven't had much success in the last decade or so. But like people are 27, we got 27. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, well, to answer like the question. Well, I know she answered it already in the comments, but I mean, it was Kynes. One game in because I remember Kynes. It was one game intern and then 06, and then Shula took over after he was quarterback. In like the 84-86 season. So. And then now it's
the coach before Saban. Okay.
Yeah, and then now we know it's the coach from Washington now.
Yeah. So. I will just say, like I said before, it's just your list of teams is like either like you grew up in a place where you don't have professional teams, and usually those are the teams that they point to because in those areas, those are the teams that get the most publicity. That's why, once again, I said the Ravens is the one that kind of sticks out as a sore thumb because normally with those teams that you picked, it's either Cowboys, Patriots, or Chiefs, kind of depending on like how old you are. So for you being Ravens, then it turns to, if you're a Ravens fan, people would probably think you're probably from the Baltimore area and the Ravens were the one team you associated with. And then it turns into, well, how can you not an Orioles fan, a Wizards fan, or whatever? So it's just interesting hearing.
I mean, I don't know how you came up with those teams. Like we're supposed to be on the same side with this. Like I'm with you, Jory. I don't know why you're coming at me. And I'm a bandwagon fan when I'm out.
Well, because I think Jory's teams, it's like Atlanta based. It's like Southern based, so it's like all in the same area. Once again, for you, because you'll tell people you were born in California, and then you have Baltimore ties, so you're a Baltimore fan, and then the other teams don't match either of the two locations, so it's just weird. Because like me, if you ask me, it's a very simple answer. It was Boston. I'm a fan of it. Plain and simple.
You're from Boston, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Boston, born and raised.
Kind of a lucky bastard, because they just win.
Well, not yes right and no, because I'm old enough that I was in Boston before the Patriots got started. So I was actually a fan of the Patriots when they wore like the Pat Patriot all the time.
I love that logo.
Terrible.
That logo.
I love that logo too. And like I first got into the Patriots when they had Bledsoe with Bill Parcells. So they were decent, but they weren't the Bill Belichick Patriots. So I was with them since then. And being a Celtics fan goes way before the 2008 championship.
To see the Red Sox.
I was a Celtics fan when Reggie Lewis died, and that like was the worst thing for me. I was such a Reggie Lewis fan.
And the bloody sock and the down 3-0 to the like that unless you're a Yankees fan, you almost got to look at that as like that's so legendary that you can't hate on it. Like to me,
yeah, that series was just crazy. Ortiz was just clutch every time at the plate. They were actually getting hits off of Rivera. I was like, you would never think they'd ever get. They did like multiple times in that series.
Miller. Mariano was that guy, man.
Except against the Red Sox that year.
But no, it's I think it's gonna be it's been a kind of quiet year of baseball. And I know that Ohtani got traded to the Dodgers, and then they got the Japanese pitcher, but then we got Soto.
That's also a problem with baseball. How has free agency just dried up when there's so many free agents out there?
Jordan, you should just be a Dodger. I mean, the Dodgers are like Yankees West, so and they're winning.
I thought we were gonna get the Japanese pitcher because he did 2 visits with us, and I thought usually when a player goes there's 2 visits like to the same team, that means he got signed. But I guess the Dodgers last minute gave him the best offer.
Dodgers have recent success. Yankees are kind of missing that right now. And Dodgers got crazy money to throw around. Because of the Ohtani contract and the way he signed it.
But you're right, Kyle. Like, we're not hearing anything about Snell, really. We're not hearing anything about, like, Cody Bellinger is, like, just out there.
It's like, what are they waiting for at this point?
Yeah, spring training's about to, like, we're a couple weeks away now.
Baseball has missed its opportunity to kind of grab some headlines.
Again.
Because like you said, baseball is so far in the back of your mind right now. Like you almost forget spring training is almost here.
Even that.
Because the last big news they made was the Ohtani signing. And then after that's been, Stroman's with the Yankees. Okay.
Jock Peterson to the Diamondbacks. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's tough. They do it to themselves, though. I think a lot of the time they do it to themselves.
Yep.
Like, how are these teams like the Pirates, the Brewers? Like, I know the Brewers got Rhys Hoskins, but like, okay, cool. It's not like they got, Mookie Betts. Like, it's like, I just don't get how the sport's going to survive in all these small markets forever. Like, Detroit Tigers.
A team like the Blue Jays. How have they not been kind of active?
They've been quiet because they missed the returning to Shohei. They had all their eyes on Shohei, and then boom.
But a team like the Blue Jays should have a plan B that they should have jumped to right after Ohtani signed with somebody. Because the Blue Jays aren't that far off if they make the right decisions.
Well, they had their eyes on Yamamoto too, and then he went, to the Dodgers.
Okay, so then what's your plan C at this point? Like, you got to do something.
See, I thought Yamamoto was going to go to another team. I thought that since he already signed Otani, like because I read that he like like all the eyes are gonna be on Otani because but I thought that he doesn't want to be. I heard that he didn't want to go to a team where he was on because he was gonna get most of the spotlight, Otani. So that's why I thought Yamamoto was gonna go somewhere
That was
else to have
clearly a lie.
The Phillies really haven't even done anything either, and like they were in on Yamamoto, but obviously didn't get him. And like they spend money like no tomorrow nowadays. Like they
Even
don't
look like the
resign-
Braves before the Chris Sale trade. The Braves have been kind of quiet too.
and even that, like I don't think Chris, like I wouldn't have gone for Chris Sale. Like I don't know. I think he's washed up. Like I think he's injured too much, and it's psychologically.
It's unfortunate too, but yeah.
Yeah, like
Just
when like
the
that,
way his frame is and how hard he threw the ball, it was only a matter of time.
it's like Lincecum like fell out of the spotlight so quick, and like it almost felt like as soon as he got to the Red Sox, it became like it just couldn't get it together. Like it was injury or struggling. Like it was just one thing after another for him, and he's never been that Chris Sale that like he was. Like it's just I don't know.
I'm looking for him. He got the World Series ring in Boston with the Manny Machado strikeout, which was so fitting because in Boston, Manny Machado is one of those hated players. So the fact that he struck him out was definitely good for him. But yeah, he probably should have done a lot more in Boston than he did.
It's like for that entire contract, it didn't play out like I don't think anybody thought, and like for the Braves of all organizations to go for him, I was like, wow, that's I don't know. I just that really shocked me. I'm not saying he's like complete garbage, but it's like he's not what
it's like
he
a luxury
was.
pick.
Yeah, it's I don't know. And then who got
Oh, Anthony just gave you some breaking news. Apparently the Eagles hired Kellen Moore.
Wow, I'll take that. I'm okay with that. I thought he was pretty good on Dallas. I mean, I didn't really watch the Chargers too much this year, but I'm actually kind of hyped about that.
Breaking news from where? I don't see any posts or anything.
Don't duke me like that.
Oh
no,
yeah,
I think it's true.
Another big assistant move in Philadelphia. Eagles are hiring former Chargers and Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, their offensive coordinator, and Vic Fangio. Yeah, I mean, I forgot they signed Vic Fangio for the defense.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like one of the only people I think that doesn't love that, but everybody seems to. I know he's a veteran and stuff, but I don't like that style, and they've been running that style for like 5 years now, and it's just. I'd rather have like Wink, like when you guys had Wink Martindale, like I like that, like kind of balls to the wall type of defense, but they don't want to play it that way. They want to play the soft coverage, but
we know it's true, Jordan. We know it's true. We know. But yeah. Oh, Aaron, do you play like any video games, bro?
I'll be honest, my one like joystick on my Xbox broke out, and like I just haven't fixed it. And I swear to God, it wasn't even me getting mad. Like
that?
No, I woke up the one day and like it must have been in my bed somehow. I don't know. The whole joystick was out. I was like, and I looked up a video. I gotta take it all apart. But I will play. I just need to. I've been like too late. I hardly ever play, but I will play. Is what I'm.
Like, what do you have? Like Xbox, what Xbox? Like Xbox S or?
I mean I don't know it's like it's this newer one, like I don't know, it's newer, it's white. I don't even freaking know.
Oh, it's the S. Is it smaller than the X?
It doesn't have the disc. Like I can't put a disc in it.
Oh yeah, so it's the S. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say if you have Madden, man, I have a couple open teams in my league, but I don't know if you play Madden.
I do play. I don't know if I'm like great. I mean, I can play, but
man, Kyle, you were in a good game the other day against Miami, bro.
Trying to tell you, man, I'm bringing the Patriots back to prominence. The dynasty will look.
Like you won that game, right?
Their current roster.
Gotta be Miami. He rage quitted on me.
Damn.
It was 31-21. I got a pick with Jabril Peppers, and he like texted me. He was like, "Yeah, I'm about to concede," and I was like, "It's all good," because he was up 14-0 on me. So I rattled off 31. Yeah, went 31-7 against him, and yeah, he was just over it at that point.
You use Mac Jones and all like the current like. You didn't even switch it up at all.
I think that's probably what really got him mad because I went 31 straight with Mac Jones at quarterback. He was like, "No, I'm not letting this happen."
I respect it.
No, it's definitely a struggle because homeboy who used the Eagles week 1 destroyed me because Patriots against the Eagles, I knew it was not going to be a fun matchup.
Well, like, what was that score? What was the score of that game?
That one was brutal. It was like 49-0. I couldn't do anything offensively against this defense.
And their defense,
because like his whole defensive line was like X factor, and the Patriots' offensive line in Madden is trash.
That's tough.
So yeah. I got lucky a little bit against the Miami one, but I finally found a scheme that worked. And then the last game I played was against the Jets, and that one was a little bit closer, but the Jets got me on that one.
You ever play the show?
It's gonna be up and down with the Patriots.
You guys ever play the show or no? Not so much.
I mean, I play.
Yeah, I play the show.
I love this. Yeah. The show is such garbage, but I still do it because it's baseball. I love it. Like it's horrible, but
I don't think it's garbage. It's just like sometimes like when 2K comes out, like Call of Duty and all them, like you lose love for like MLB.
I don't know.
I still play the show.
You could hit a ball.
Yeah, it definitely has moments where you'll be like, "What am I even playing this for?" But that's like kind of like that about it.
It's like you could hit a ball. Like I hit one with like Harper, like perfect contact, perfect power, boom, right, and it was like just a shallow pop up. I'm like, man, like I can't. I don't know. Like it's just it like decides sometimes. I swear when it wants to hit a home run, it's like you're gonna hit a home run at this at bat, bang. Like it's just like I don't get it. It's like the harder you try in that game, I feel like it doesn't benefit you. It's just like you got to let the game kind of come to you a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I play that game and I'm like, one game I feel like, okay, I understand this. The next game is totally like completely different storyline. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm there with you.
All right,
it's a game like you'll know when you play one too many games and then you're just like, I got to turn it off.
Yeah.
Just go like 3-4 days.
It starts messing. Like you just start seeing stuff. You're like, oh, okay, that's just weird. Like,
yeah, I try to follow like the season 2, like the or sometimes after I wrote to the show. Pretty fun.
Road to the Show is the best. Like I love that.
But you have to you really have to grind like to like get to the majors. Which it's in real life. It's like real life, but they really make you like if you make it to the MLB, you do bad, they send you back down. I get it just like in real life, so it makes it
I've never had that happen though. I feel like once I make it to the show, I never get sent back down.
I mean, what difficulty do you play on?
I play on a high difficulty. I'm not one of those who's tried to put on like rookie just to hit like 300 home runs and be like, oh, I'm the greatest player ever. Like, no, I want it to be realistic. Like my guy's rookie season, it was like 30 home runs, like 96 RBIs. That seems legit.
You're on the stacked Yankees too. Well, I guess they're not super stacked, but whatever. But they probably, we're sending you back down. We got everybody's hitting now pretty good.
Yeah,
my guy got drafted by the Mariners.
Yeah, I think
I have behind Julio Rodriguez though. That's not bad.
I have a couple like guys that I one's on the Yankees, one's on the Mariners, one's on the I forgot which other team, but I have a couple players that I've played with. But like, what do you like? Do you like playing like pitcher, first base, like outfield?
You can do two-way play, like you can do pitcher and position player, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, what's your favorite car? What's your favorite position to play? And
I usually do like third base or shortstop.
I played third base coming up, so That was like I played a lot of positions, but that was my favorite position. So I always pick third base and relief pitcher, so I can be coming in the game and stuff.
Are you have an arm, Aaron, in real life?
Not really. I had like no velocity. I like low velocity all the time. Let's try to locate.
I was an outfielder as a kid. I swore I was Ken Griffey Jr. because he was my favorite
Outfield is
player.
tough too. Outfield is like you can get you misjudge that ball for like half a second and forget it. Like it's over your head or in front of you. Like
Yeah, or to the right of you, like
yeah, just do.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, it's been a good one, man. We're almost touching 3 hours or 2:55. So yeah, we had a good talk. Hopefully, the Ravens prove y'all wrong and prevail against the Chiefs and move into the Super Bowl.
No, if they lose, you're not going to want me on this show.
What?
if the Ravens lose, you're not going to want me on here.
Hopefully it's a Ravens not in the Super Bowl, but I guess the good thing about the evening teams, Niners and Lions, that they'll get a feel who they'll be playing. Cause I'm pretty sure they're gonna be having their phones or like their staff gonna let them know whatever. They're gonna have the scoreboard up or whatever, so they'll know who they'll be playing. And
yeah, they'll probably watch it. They'll probably watch it at the stadium. A lot of the guys will stay there and watch it together, then kind of be like, "Oh, we're gonna play them," and then go home from there.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Do y'all have any final thoughts before we head out, or you have any final thoughts before we head out?
Well, I mean, the only thing for me is like, look, the whole Belichick stuff. I was fine with them moving on from him. I like the Jerron Mayo hire. Now the important part is who's going to be the coordinators. I love the interviews that he's had. Now he's got to pick somebody. Like I want the OC to be like a McVay type person or whatever. Even though I know it's like you kind of hate everybody just copying, but I just want something different offensively. Defense, he already knows who's going to pick. Is going to be somebody internally, but the defense has been good. Just get me a forward-thinking offensive coordinator. I'm good.
All right, Aaron.
I'm kind of hype about Kellen Moore right now. That kind of made my night a little.
That's a great hire.
I liked him in Dallas. I wouldn't even been mad if we would have went Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn. Like if they would have went that route, I wouldn't even been mad. I know Dan Quinn they got waxed by the Packers, but I still think that's Dallas more so than Dan Quinn. Like I believe in Dan Quinn, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just it sucks not having my team in it this year because I was like last playoff run was fun because the Eagles were in it obviously, but hey, I mean I want it to be Detroit and Kansas City, and I want Detroit to win, but I'll keep holding on to that hope until both those games are over. But good luck, Jordan. I don't know. We'll see. You might not need it because you guys are a great team, but I just don't. I really don't know what to expect. Really, like I don't know how it's gonna play out.
It's gonna be a good one because they got some key players coming back. That Marlon Humphrey and Andrews. Definitely some depth in that position or both positions. So we'll see, man. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be. I can't wait to watch it. And best believe if we win, I will be so hyped. I'll be crying on the air, man.
Like I said, if you lose, make sure you look at that phone as soon as it hits zeros. There will be a message from a certain person ready for you.
Sorry,
and if we win,
I will hit you up as soon as they lose with something. I don't know what it is yet.
And if we win, what we're gonna do?
I'm turning my phone off.
Exactly. Like you ain't gonna text me saying, "Oh, congrats."
I'm not gonna read that stuff you guys put out there. Not a chance. Actually, I will. I might pick a fight or two. I don't know.
But Jordan, they've not. I know you only been to 2 Super Bowls, but you have never lost a Super Bowl. So being as though like I've been to but the Eagles have been to the Super Bowl and losing. That's just. I'm not gonna say prepare yourself for that, but that sucks the most, in my opinion. So if it's you and San Fran, it's hard to beat a team twice. Just think about that a little bit. I don't want it to be San Fran either, though. I really don't. I'd rather see you guys beat San Fran. I don't like you guys all that much either. So,
I mean, you don't like anyone, man. Like it's crazy.
I mean, I don't mind Detroit. I wouldn't have mind. I wanted to see the Packers win, but they blew it. The Bucks I was okay with, even though they beat us, but we're trash because I like Baker Mayfield. Yeah. I just don't like many. I don't really like who's left. I mean, I don't. Chiefs, I really don't hate like everybody else. But
hey, but before we head out, like, where can people find y'all? Where can people find you? I know Aaron, this is your first show on my show, or your first rodeo on my show. So where can people find you at? Where can people look you up and everything?
just on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasting platforms. I need to post a little bit more. Just been really hectic lately, but yeah, on Twitter at brutally honest without the T. Yeah, really, those are the outlets I use the most.
Wait, you say brutally honest without the T?
Yeah, it's just brutally honest without the T. So I couldn't get. It was too many characters, and I couldn't put sports in. So that's all I got.
All right, Kyle, we probably know chomping at the bit. I see you've been consistent with your content, man. Like you've been, doing your thing and everything. So same thing.
Just know, if the Ravens win, whenever there's a Ravens video out there pumping up Lamar, there's gonna be a comment from me knocking him down.
Yeah, LeBron in your head, man. Yeah,
because that trash is an all-star starter. That's why.
Trash.
Mockery.
No, I'm playing. But all right, man.
You can remove me. What I said was true. LeBron should not be a starter. He shouldn't. And D'Angelo Russell, pack your bags. You're dropping 40 now. They're just gonna trade you. They don't like you. LeBron don't like you. Lakers fans don't even like you.
LeBron's not getting another chip, man. He's not getting no more chips.
Let's see.
Apparently, the missing piece is Bronny, since he said Bronny could play in the Lakers. Like, imagine being a teammate and you got to listen to LeBron say Bronny could play on the team. I'd have been like, who are you?
40 years old. Like, he's not. I don't know. He's overstaying his welcome a little. He's padding his stats. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
All right, fellas. It's been a good one, but we will be back next week.
The Lakers. Let's talk about the real teams in the West, the Nuggets.
Oh man, bro. All right,
Lakers.
All right. Well, everyone, good night. You can follow the show on YouTube.
Hawks of the West.
JJ Sports Talk, and yeah, we out.